allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That's a big shit. Yeah, yeah.
Do it that way so it all fit on one page.
Goodness, this is illegal. All right, I guess we're starting with Rachel.
Oh, yeah.
Morning.
Morning. So, first up is the bid openings for the 2025-01 CCMG project, which is 900 south between County Line and 1000 east, and then 1200 east between State Road 8 and 150 north. And the bids are sealed.
Is that my cue?
Yeah, that's your cue. Do you have a letter opener?
No, I can use my fingers like
I got
just tearing. Read Riley's first. I'm reading this right. So I am reading this correctly. It looks like we have a total bid amount of $867,866.81. That's assuming I'm reading this correctly. I think these will be itemized. That's the total. 86, yeah, that'd be all right. So 867,866.81.
Enough to just
Read Riley. We've got E and B paving.
Yeah, just because. Didn't unput it. So we did it this way, so they can get it for bid.
Okay, we have $1,074,773.80. It's $1,074,773.80 total bid amount. This is from Milestone Contractors, LP. Total bid amount, 949,000 even. 949.
Okay, so Brian with United Consultants is here. He's gonna review all the bids and make sure that they have everything, that everything's the same on all of them, according to the contract documents. Because we're trying to get this job done this year, we have to have paperwork and it approved, everything turned into NDOT by May 1st. So I'm gonna have United Consultants review it for the entirety of the meeting, come back, make their recommendation. And if you guys can, make a decision.
Okay.
Of which one to choose. And then this job will be done this year by August 31st. Right, Brian, August 31st?
Yep. Thank you very much.
Yep. I, you don't want one?
No, no,
No, this is our finances,
Okay, good.
We're
This-
close enough, we can share, right?
everybody. But that is the Acumed plus our new Insight. And that's the total that we received for March for our income.
Do you have one for me, Nancy?
So. I will keep on Charlie's, but Charlie's.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and this is from our collection agency, Mr. O'Hare. You gotta read
Yeah, read that, not loud.
The amount?
Yep.
that.
Okay. O'Hare Law Office Trust amount or account, $643.57.
And here's our, the one that Acumed uses. Ours. There's two different figures from merchants and medical.
You have copies of those too.
Yes.
for this?
These are both sent to us.
Yeah,
Do I need to read these two as well?
yes.
So merchant medical,
Mhm.
looks like check number 367041 for $12.11. Merchant medical, 366980 for $37.50.
Thanks, Nancy.
Mhm.
Morning, everybody.
One,
Still monthly report for April. As you can see, we had a good month.
Monthly report for April?
It's the report for March, April for March.
Oh, okay.
It's been a week. Currently, we're operating 3 out of 6, certain intervals, 3 at ALS level. When staffing permits as well. 1 was out of service again for cosmetic work, which is actually back as of now. Minimum of 1 ALS staff member at all times scheduled, medic 3. 51% of February staffing is 2 ALS staffed ambulances at all times. That's an increase of 11%. ALS ambulances, 100% minimum staffing of 1 paramedic at Knox base at all times. Continue to operate the ALS non-transport vehicle on a 24-hour basis. I have been running calls too. We've picked up totals, one, by the way. Transfers. We did 55 total transfers out of 268 calls, which is an increase. I think that's not the most we've ever done, but it's second to the top. Personnel, we have no full-time openings for EMTs. We have 2 new part-time employees hired. No additional applications have received. 7 current full-time paramedics as 1 paramedic full-time open. 2 new part-time paramedics. Training, March, we did difficult airways, skill station testings, tested everybody on their airway capabilities. Last accident was 116, no reported injuries. Maintenance, everything is current and up to date as of we speak.
And stop you on that accident. And what was the last accident?
That was the one that we're gonna bring up now, the
Okay.
old 84.
Okay.
That's the one I gave you the bids last month
Yeah.
to look at, which I want to address at the end of this. The new 84 had some issues when we got it. We split the difference with the repairs with the company that sold it as is. So they paid half of it, we paid half. The original bid for that, this is not on here, was $10,000 to have repaired. And I do believe that it was overinflated at the shop it went to because the actual repairs were 4,000. Which included a new turbo, because it was,
They paid 2.
and they paid 22 of it, it was like 45. All the bids are in. I could not get a third bid because nobody wanted to do it locally. If I went outside, all I got was guesstimates without them coming to see it. And they wanted me to tow the ambulance to them. Now, outside of the area, probably would have been $1,800 just for an estimate, which was not what I wanted to spend at that point in time. At this time, I want to recommend to accept the bid from McQueen, which is formerly Crossroads, and Middlebury, which is attached on the back again. It was for 166,000, which was the better of the 2. Stand by. Those 3 pages. 166,106 total. I was announced that Ford is raising their chassis prices. And I would like to move this to the next level and give them a deposit, which I do have from the insurance company. If it gets approved today, I will take it to council tonight, even though I'm not on the schedule. I'll go for the meeting other. That gives us a 2027 chassis. That puts our fleet in top shape.
Did you say that quote is in here?
Yeah, it's right. It's a very back of that. It's right there. That's the bottom line. Just 3 pages to the quote.
Okay.
Just the one highlighted in red.
This is the only quote?
There was another one I gave last month. That
Oh.
was for 206,000, which didn't include half the stuff that we did.
And the one we're using the insurance money or?
This is the one where I've got $68,000 left of the insurance money after purchasing the replacement temporary unit that had to go inside.
And what was the total?
It was 166, 106. See all the red down at the bottom? At the very bottom of the page 2. It's has a red of $2,000. Next one.
Yeah.
Sorry, page 3. At the very bottom. And the black. It's in between the red and the black.
Oh, okay, here it is
Yeah.
off to the side. Boy, that's some small print on that.
Right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I tried everything to flip the page around. It didn't work for me.
And you say 66,000?
I have 66, 67,000 without actually looking right this second. That from the insurance money that's left to put towards it. And I have to use it towards it now.
Mhm.
So all I would go and ask for from the council would be the 100,000. And that won't even be due till next year.
That won't be due till next year.
Yeah, if they take it today, I won't see it till the middle of next year. It's a year-long process.
July, somewhere in there.
Somewhere right in July. And that's a 2027 chassis, whereas the other bid was a 2024 chassis. That they had
And
laid
putting the
around
box off the wreck one.
and completely rehabbing the box, everything. The 2021 we have on that gas motor has 166,000 miles on it, and it's starting to show its age.
Then we won't have to pay nothing until next year.
Nope, but I would want to pay the 67,000 now to
Right.
secure the price of Ford. That way it secures the price of the chassis and we don't have to worry about the increase.
You comfortable on this one without Charlie? The 2 of us?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am too.
It's something, I mean, it's something we need today.
And I think in the last meeting, he was in agreement that we needed to do
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion. What do you recommend, Todd? Out of seated or?
I don't know, I wondered what the balance is for the Cume cap.
It's a little under $1 million.
Cume cap?
But this will come out next year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So we'll have two settlements before then.
I'll make a motion, we go with it. And we'll let him use that money he's got for the down payment. And the rest come out of cume cap.
For the 166,000.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll second.
I'm gonna put the 66,000 down. That's
Right.
The 106.
So it'll be roughly 99,000 or.
roughly right around 99,000, a little bit under 100,000. Next thing is, I want to run a flyer by you, for this is our 50th anniversary, 1975, September 15th, 1975 is when it came from. The ambulance service came from the coroner's office. So now it's our 50th anniversary, enclosed, the next, I think underneath that page.
This one?
No, there's another one, looks like this one.
Good.
Should be a third page.
Yeah.
This is what I want to post. We are excited to celebrate emergency medical. This is for EMS week. from May 18th to 2020 to the 24th of 2025 to honor the extraordinary efforts of our dedicated EMS. Stark County EMS is celebrating 50 years of dedication, service, and gratitude. We are very happy to have played an essential role in the safety and well-being of our community. As a vital part of our community, we are contacting local businesses like yours for support. We would like kindly appreciate any contribution you could help us recognize and celebrate our EMS staff. Your generous donation will be much appreciated for their hard work and dedication to your community. We are hoping to show Stark County EMS personnel how much the community appreciates them. Your donations are helped by supporting training equipment, base supplies such as dishes, pots, pans, bedding, any items needed for daily personal use, or any other items not covered through the county. Personnel work at the station for 12, 24, and some 48-hour shifts. They live at the station for that time period, eat, sleep, and respond to the calls for help. Thank you for continued support. Please feel free to contact me, 574-772-9123, or jgarner@stark.in.gov if you have any questions or need further information. I want approval to send this out,
Send it out where?
just to the local businesses, put it on WKBI. I don't want, is that everything I do, I want out. Approval for it very much.
I think if you got cash donations, though, you'd have to have something set up for.
We have a donation account.
Oh, okay.
We do have a donation account.
This guy, something like the dispatch.
Is exactly what the dispatcher did for dispatch
You
week.
watch that on was
I did.
this past week. I would be okay with it.
So you make a motion to approve it?
Sure, yep.
Last but not least.
I'll second that.
As I said, is our 50th anniversary. You see the picture? That is what I want to make a t-shirt out of and sell. But I want, this is our patch, but I want to put supporter at the top of it and sell them, not as EMS shirts in a different color.
Is there any legalities for that?
You just have to approve it. When our last audit, State Board of Accounts said we don't have a fundraising policy. So anything has to come, as long as you guys approve it, that's fine.
Okay, I was gonna say, cause I thought we did it with the K9s and stuff.
Yeah, you guys approved it though.
Okay.
So that's
That I knew.
I'll make a motion to approve him to do the t-shirt.
Second.
Ladies, thank you for your time.
You watch, you see the agenda sticker?
I saw, yeah.
Okay.
I got the other paperwork ready for that.
Okay,
Hey, Jim, just want to say I appreciate how nice job you always do putting all this together for us.
Oh, thank you.
morning.
Yeah.
Thanks for this opportunity to give you an update about what the Stark County Youth Club is doing over the past year since we've been around these parts. We are a youth development organization supporting kids and families meeting some critical needs in our community. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an update about what we've been doing. We believe that kids have potential, all of them, to grow into amazing adults. And so we know that they are like seeds. They're full of potential and possibility, but they need the right environment in which to grow up in. And so we try to help our community by providing that environment. We help kids academically through academic support like homework time and things like science and math projects. We also help kids grow up to be good humans through a skill building curriculum, which helps them be good friends, helps them take responsibility, resolve conflict, and solve problems. This year's programs, we want to let you know, served over 300 kids in our community every single day before and after school. We also hosted spring break camps, summertime programs that lasted 4 weeks every single day to help prevent the summer learning loss so that when kids go back to school in the fall, they're more prepared to learn. And they have spent less unproductive time in their community. Maybe that's even considered like an offset to delinquency, an offset to risky behaviors. So we're really proud to be able to offer that to the community. We also offer a ton of enrichment programs. And I just wanted to highlight one of them that we just completed. It was our drone camp. So our kids got together and they learned all about unmanned aerial vehicles, drones. They got to work as a team, they got to create a flight plan, they got to launch their drones, but this really had some workplace relativity, so it really was about communication, problem solving. These are all workplace skills that employers tell us kids need to have when they enter the workforce. So the kids got to file their flight plan and launch them. Kids were super excited about this, and they took away a lot of really great skills. We had a lot of adults who said, why can't we have that for us? It's one of them. We also are hosting quite a lot of these other enrichment programs that I think are valuable. Things like Girls on the Run, where girls are learning to be physically active, but also how to take care of themselves. We hosted a family baking course this year, which is when adult family members could come with their student on Saturday afternoons for a series of educational baking lessons. They went home with recipes. They learned how to do things collaboratively. And our parents told us that they learned a lot about how to cook and bake, but also their kids are much more energized to help around the house with cooking and baking and things like that. It's a really good community building activities that we're doing. But maybe most importantly, I wanted to share just some of the things the kids said about how they feel when they're with us. And we ask them, obviously, we don't just come and tell you things off the top of our heads. We ask them how they feel, and we also ask their adult family members. But the kids told us they feel special. I feel loved. I feel smarter. I feel safe. I feel full of joy. So we think those are really great reasons for the community to be supportive of the work that we do. And Mark's going to tell you ways the community can support us.
So May 2nd is our Radiothon. It's our largest fundraiser of the year. Our goal is to raise $55,000 in one day. Our theme is growing greatness, hence all of Irene's talking about growth and seeds and trees and leaves and all of that. But we would like to have community support. We'd like to have county support as well. I've given you a postcard of, just to remind you, a pledge card if you'd like to donate to our fundraiser. There's a QR code on there, and anyone in the audience that would like a pledge sheet, I'd be glad to give you one on the way out. But you can just use that QR code to go straight to our fundraising page. But we would appreciate any support. We are a nonprofit. We do receive some grant money, but it only covers certain things. So we have to be able to take care of our employees and definitely grow great kids. Do you guys have any questions for us?
I don't. I think it's a good program. Mainly what you're asking today is just for support.
Yeah, community support.
I think
individual support. If each individual would like to give, we would love to have we would gladly take your donation without a problem.
right.
But we do an annual report with you, and we always do it right around the same time as our biggest fundraiser. Like I said, 55,000 is we did just over 50 last year, so we're trying to grow that. But it's to help the kids of our community. All that money stays here. We are a local nonprofit, so a $50 or $100 donation from an individual, we make that go and stretch that money as far as we can.
We also gave you a data report from our last data, which is an independent evaluator, analyzes our success. And so what that data report shows you is that an investment in the program really does have positive impact on kids and families. All that data is proof in the pudding of the work that we do. And thanks for your time.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
That's Irene. Tacoma.
Yeah, I don't want to spell it.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Irene, could you tell me how to spell your last name?
Who would like one?
S-D-A-K.
There we go. Look at my hands up. I like that.
All I heard was S and
I'll
C.
come that way.
Okay, thank you.
Morning, sir.
Good morning.
Might be easier for you just to read it that way.
O-N-Y-I.
You got it.
Okay, thank you.
I'm there just for the Ivy Concrete at the northeast corner of the courthouse. I think you guys had already approved that drawing there. But I got the bid from Hereford. So we just need to approve the concrete.
Did you only got one bid?
Yeah, because we hired Hereford all the other stuff.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, we haven't heard him yet, but
Right,
They quoted all that other stuff and he came in lower.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he did give us a number for the bison, but we didn't have a clue what we were doing yet.
Right, yeah, yeah.
And it was
right,
still much better than everybody else.
Right,
So the quote for the bison for your drawing here is $4,885.
yes.
And I think what you've got drawn out here looks really good.
Yeah, yeah. Only thing with this, I would like to. I think we could approve it, but I don't want nothing done till the last time when you went to the council, they rejected our other concrete.
yeah, I'm going to the council tonight.
Right, and you told me that you're gonna take it in writing.
I'm gonna put it in, I got pictures and everything of all of it that's being done,
Okay,
present it to them that way, so.
okay. Cause I mean, we took it to them out of respect anyhow. We did it through King Cat, so we didn't even have to.
Yeah.
So go ahead and take it tonight. But I make a motion, we accept this, but we do not do it till we get the rest of the stuff done. We bid on ADA ramps, veterans ramps, and they voted them. I think that's more important than this Buffalo thing.
Did that go to the council?
Yeah.
Well, he took it to the.
Twice.
Yeah.
Or
We
twice.
could make any sense out of any of it.
What's that?
Yeah, I did present it to them like I did you
Right, and
guys.
that's what I'm saying, present it to them tonight, but I don't know the whole deal why, I just know Bruce voted it down, but.
Yeah.
Take it to them, show them what we voted.
That's why, because it was just drawn on a piece of paper.
That's what I thought.
All that it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if Rick presents it a little better, then you want to just wait to approve this until the next meeting?
No, I would approve it, but I want him to start on this other stuff, the other stuff we need done.
Right.
It's an ADA ramp, it's the veterans
I thought
ramp,
some of that got approved.
well, it did through us, but not.
So you guys did.
Okay.
So I presented you guys all the quotes and stuff,
Right,
and I thought that going to the council, I thought they was just a bank. I didn't
But
know
you-
that they needed detailed,
he just.
after the commissioners approved it.
Take the pictures.
We have
So-
an obligation to see
Yeah.
detail
Okay.
as the keepers of the money.
so.
So that's my motion. We accept this, we go with it, but we do not start on it until the other side is.
Well, that's a complicated motion.
How do you want me to read it?
I don't-
That's,
Say it
I mean,
better.
that's not important. I mean, we need it because the community wants it.
I wrote it down as Don moved pending council approval, which means they can't do anything until.
No, not on this.
But he's saying he would like to see the other stuff move forward
Yes.
before this.
Yes. And I mean, while he's here, definitely we'll get this done. But the other stuff to me is more important than this.
Yeah, the ADA ramps is more important in my
And the
opinion.
Veterans
Because
Memorial that they asked
So-
for.
it's tripping hazards and
Do you have that full sheet again with the other items on it?
not in this paperwork. No, I got it in my office, yes.
And taking that to the council tonight.
Yeah,
And we already gave approval on
Yes,
those things.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
To QCAP.
so really what you're looking for is to approve it all.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
But he wants to start with the first concrete, the ADA ramps, that's then the bison last.
well, my thought is if we're having him here to do the work,
That's why I say he can
Do it all in
yes,
one
he can-
package.
Yeah, yeah, but we want the other stuff done first.
okay. That,
And I mean, he can work on it all together, you know what I'm saying, but I don't want. Like, someone trip out here, that,
Yeah.
we're gonna be the ones responsible. But I'd rather that was done, the Veterans Memorial, and the Veterans Memorial, Todd, since you don't know, it's at the old thing. They got the ADA ramp, but it's 6 inches off the sidewalk. So we're just gonna,
Are they going in the street or are they going on our property?
the,
Sidewalk.
the first one will go in the street, the one out front, that's blacktop.
Because those are really the only ones that are real true ADA ramps.
Yes.
The other ones don't have to have detectable
Right,
lines or anything.
Right, I'm just, cause the veterans
Yeah.
have come to me a few
Yeah.
years and they can't even get up there, the ones in wheelchairs,
Should be able to,
right? But the
absolutely,
ADA ramp is the one in front of the courthouse. It's there, but it's blacktop.
yeah.
so your motion is to approve it all
Yeah.
as a package,
Sure,
just get it all done.
sure.
Okay, so whatever
Do
that,
King Cat.
I'll second that.
And after the council tonight, explain that to mine, we know mine, I'll call them.
Mike Burford.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've walked around with him. Okay, Mandy?
Okay, so I know there's my question. I just printed it out for you. This just is the IC code that dictates what I can do with the perpetuation fund. Two things, preserve records and improve recording. That's it. So I just sent off 10 books to be preserved. They will be back before June. I already have 8 books that don't have a spot on a shelf. I will have 20 coming back because one book makes 2 the way they preserve it.
Rick, have you looked into that half wall being put in the shelves?
Yeah, yeah,
Can we do it?
yeah, we're good with it. We got plenty of support right through here, so. Just gotta find time to redo it.
I'm okay with that. I've been okay with that all along, but I just don't want to take from another office to
Mhm.
make a bookshelf.
Well, it's gonna kind of take from them because it's gonna push that
Well,
wall.
a couple, a few inches, but not no quarter of an office. We're gonna take the wall and whatever it takes to build the wall, we'll split the difference and put your shelf or your book case through there, whatever it's called.
But you're only talking like half a wall.
No, they can go clear to the
To go to the
ceiling.
ceiling.
That's why I asked Rick, as
Okay.
long as it would hold, I don't care how high, as long as we're not like fire code or nothing,
Yeah.
messing up fire code or nothing.
Yeah, do we have to get that
Are you
approved?
guys approving to move that half wall over?
No, take it out, get rid of it, put the books there as the wall.
Oh, the book says the wall. Okay.
Okay.
I guess my thought was to just build an actual wall across that whole space.
Yeah, but move what's there and then build it right back in the same place. Is that what you're saying?
Remove what's there and then build a new wall.
Yeah.
All the way over.
Yeah.
I assume it's drywall there.
Oh, yeah, I would think, I'd have to ask Rick, I would think so.
Is that
I would be
drywall?
okay with that whole wall. Well, then we could adjust things. I'm just saying, let's not take a quarter away from these people. Let's just put the wall back up, but put it in the bookshelf.
Mhm. Would there be any
Ask Rick.
inspection that we would need to get approval for? Like,
No, not on that. If I
escape
do, it
routes
needs to be
or
a
anything?
permit through the city. But last time I built a wall and the auditors, I didn't need no permit.
But is it not, it's not gonna block off a escape route or anything
No.
like that?
No.
Depending
Fire
on
escape's
how
on
you're
the door.
talking about putting the wall. Because there is a walkway there.
Well, that's what I'm worried about. If we did build a full wall there.
She was leaving that little walkway through there, but that's actually not the fire escape route. Fire escape route goes straight to the west out the side door there. So that wouldn't hurt anything.
Okay. Do we need to have that approved?
Do you have an inspector you could ask, Rick?
Yeah, I can ask on it, yeah.
Would you do that?
Uh-huh.
And ask him to check into it, because like Mike's saying, that's our second exit really for either office. Just make sure that's all legit before we close it off. If nothing
Just
else,
want
we
the
can
wall
go
straight
over.
through now then.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I'm suggesting as conversation. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not set in stone here, but. Just a complete wall to separate the two offices and then shelves could be put along that wall.
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does, but then I don't know where she's gonna get a room if we go straight through there. I don't know where
It's
she's
not
gonna have
gonna-
room for her.
It's not gonna
computer,
give me any room for,
'cause it's pretty small.
you're not,
That's-
it won't be bumping the wall back if you're gonna go straight across. It's not gonna give me any other. It's not gonna give me any room. It's gonna give me a 3-foot walkway. That's all you're gonna give me.
That's what you need for the books, right?
Well, that will take her 3-foot walkway, is that right?
You're only gonna give me 3 foot for a bookshelf.
So how about we table this? I know we put you off till next meeting. And after this meeting, me and you walk up there with
Yeah.
Rick.
Can we do that together?
After
Just
the meeting.
just don't adjourn the meeting. Just walk up there while the meeting's still in session and then adjourn it. After
You
you.
good with that?
Yeah,
Okay,
so we can get this rolling.
yeah.
You
I
good,
agree with
Rick?
that.
You
Yeah,
ain't got no.
after today,
Okay.
I just do it today after the meeting.
Yep, yeah, okay.
That'd be good with you?
Yeah.
Bring a tape measure.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, I do have one question, sorry, for Justin. Did you get my email about the documents?
I was sick last week, so I have not been able to look at it yet,
Okay,
but
I'm just afraid they're gonna come in and I just don't know what to tell them, so if you can.
yeah, so
All right, thank you.
Stanley?
Morning.
Discussing if or what the county wants to do regarding archiving for our social media platforms. Here's another copy of the offers. Got one for you too, Mike.
And this is the company you're recommending, right?
Smarsh is probably the best offer. Page Freezer in there is pretty close as well. Smarsh offers a 3-year contract by default, but I asked them to get a 12-month one, just so that you can compare and decide what would work best.
And thanks for the camera. Mike pointed it out to me the other day.
Yeah,
Makes
that
a
looks
big
really
difference.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody noticed, but Stanley was able to move the camera back just a little bit here and you can see, well, at least 2/3 of the board.
Yeah.
Which is a big improvement from what we had. And you did that in-house, so there was no extra
Right.
expense.
And this to protect us through all the Facebook junk and all.
We've, the county runs 13 different Facebook pages,
Yeah.
all of which are considered public access records.
Right.
They've found that over about a 4-year time, roughly 10% of content on Facebook gets deleted. But we're still liable for it, should it be requested. Public access requests.
So the contract amount is for 3 years, 36 months, a total of $5,568.
Yes,
And for 12 months, it would be $2,135.
correct.
And if we did this for 1 year, and is everything gone if we decide not to expand upon that, or can we request that information?
At the end of that, we can request all of the data and they will get it to us in whatever convenient way we.
Like a drive
Yeah.
or something?
Yep.
And they'll save the same price for 1 year instead of 3.
The 3 years gonna be a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, that's about more attractive.
I thought you just said 1 year.
Well, 1 year is the 2,135,
Okay.
and then,
Oh, okay.
3
And
years.
each year we'll get a copy of what I got.
Well, I'm just saying if we pulled the plug.
If we ever
Okay.
terminate services or whatever,
Right.
we can request all of the data that they have for it be sent to us for us to hold on to.
Okay.
So if we did the 5,500, that comes out to what, about $1,700 a year? Doing just some quick math.
It gets a little bit less than, it's got the recurring amount there. There's also the initial cost, so that's just the first setup.
So the one-time fee, that's $350.
Yeah.
Now, would we pay that again if we upped the contract after 3 years, or would that just be a one?
That'd just be the one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So $1,739.61 per year. But what?
Do you think you could put that in your budget after the first year or no? Or
Yeah.
is that something that's not?
Well, it's,
Really all departments?
yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
countywide.
Right.
Todd, do you have any thoughts?
What are you gonna do? The only thought is delete all the Facebook pages.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's-
That's what we should
I
do.
mean, that's the only,
Exactly what we
that's
should
the only
do.
thing you got choices you have,
Mhm.
that I can see, right?
Either don't use it or try to cover yourself. But,
Right.
yeah.
Dave, any thoughts?
Same thing. A lot of companies have Facebook policies, so might be time to put a Facebook policy in place.
I did submit previously a template for social media policy. Sent it to commissioners. I think I sent it to council members as well, but I also sent it to you. It's a template to start off for somewhere to go for county social media usage. there's a lot of nuance for if somebody is using abusive speech on it, you can block them without violating First Amendment rights, that sort of thing. Otherwise, you have to be careful with that.
Well, I think the public likes having the access to the Facebook.
Oh, they do, yeah. Yeah. I'm making a motion, we go with that.
The 3-year.
Yeah. Just 'cause like I say, it's cheaper going in 3 year.
Do I do it pending council approval?
Sure.
Okay. I'll second that pending council approval. Can you take this to the council tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that's for the 3-year contract.
Yes. Whether we want to pull that out or you can proceed it. Todd, do you recommend that?
What's that?
Cume cap again?
So the motion we can take it from.
Do that.
June cap.
Cume cap.
Okay, planning commission.
Everything married her.
Oh, there she is. She was hiding in the back.
Right?
No glasses today?
Got a scratch on them,
Oh.
not on the contacts.
Thank you.
Have you had a chance to read through that?
So this is, the ordinance establishing a policy for which the members of the Planning Commission and Board of Zoning Appeals for the county can participate in electronic means of communication. This was approved at the last Planning Commission meeting, so it's now on to you guys for approval.
Which where they could amend and vote on.
It's rules for how they can participate in those electronic meetings, whether or not they'd be able to vote or not, and how they're compensated for those meetings. Per their recommendations, they wanted the ordinance to where they were not allowed, or they wanted the members to be more present at the meetings. And so when they participate by electronic means, they will not be able to vote at the meetings. But they can contribute
Right.
still to it, but they wouldn't be able to vote, and they wouldn't be able to be compensated either if they're only attending electronically.
I actually like the word that we're getting experience with it.
Yeah, it's more, this isn't a bad thing. It's more restrictive than what you have to be under statute, but I mean, since that's what the planning commission wants, it's nothing wrong with
And
it.
you're on that board, you good with it?
Yeah, they actually spent some time, Tim worked on this quite a bit, and I think it's written pretty well.
Make a motion, we go with it.
Second? You need one signed?
Well, she will. And then after you have it recorded, you get a copy of that. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Today's the 21st, right?
Yep.
Okay, this is funny again. This needs filled out, right? I don't want to. Well, Michaeline can fill that out when she signs it.
Yeah, you'll date it today.
I date it here, but should I fill that out or should she fill that out?
Either.
Okay. And then starts to drop back. Did she already walk down?
Yeah, it's for me. I have to get it recorded and everything.
So I'm just gonna mention something else in the plan commission here real quick while we're discussing it. It came up again, we're trying to rewrite the ordinance for solar, came up in the last meeting. And I'm gonna come to the council meeting tonight, but we're still trying to establish how we can develop a good ordinance. And hiring a company still seems to be a logical way to go about it. And there's gonna be some funds that are gonna need to be exchanged there more than likely. Whether we pay our attorneys some extra hours to work on it, we hire an outside company, which is kind of his recommendation, so it's a neutral company, wouldn't have any affiliation with the county. And I'm gonna mention again tonight at the council meeting, kind of talk about the Caramita option as well. So those are some things that are gonna happen tonight at the council meeting. Donna?
Donna Osborne,
She may not be here yet because she wasn't on the agenda till 10:50. But Gwen,
go around there and bring that way.
We can circle back.
Yeah,
Okay, well,
that'd be all right, right, Justin? We just circle back.
Yeah.
Morning, gentlemen. How are you?
On
Good morning. So Amy and I are here because in 2022, you guys purchased a Polaris Ranger for the surveyors department. And very grateful for it. However, I really don't use it much at all. And I think Amy would have a wonderful opportunity to use that out at the park. And we've talked at length, if I were to ever need it on a rare occasion, we can work through that, of course. And there's storage for her available under lock and key for the Ranger. So we'll just kind of come here to get your thoughts and permission for her to be able to use
You
it.
did that.
You did for Tracy for a short time.
She didn't like it, but I
Right.
think it's a good thing. I think it, instead of it sitting in the.
I agree.
The only thing I would like to mention, which you need it on big weekends too, EMS uses it once in a while, that they would still have access. Not if it's a busy weekend for you, they're gonna just maybe borrow Rick's or something,
Yeah.
but I think it's a good deal.
Okay, great.
Who would have access to driving it?
Well, I would, obviously, and then I guess I would like to talk to Carrie Block to see what ages of people by the county are allowed to use it before I make any decisions.
Say, I think they gotta be employed too, like.
Yeah,
part-time.
definitely employed, but I don't know if they have to be 18 or
Yeah,
what, so I'll find that
I'm
out.
glad, yeah, you're checking into it.
Yeah, I would be okay with this going to the Parks Department, but for right now, with only her access until we had confirmation as to who can drive it.
Yeah.
Where do you store the trailer?
In the garage. Oh, and the trailer will be at the
I-
county
I was
warehouse.
gonna say, I think it needs to stay at the garage just because Rick uses it once.
Right, so say, oh, Rick was using that, and you
Right.
need the trailer then.
Yeah,
Sorry, doesn't mean to stick my nose in it. but-
that's fine. Yeah, and then they're both being used instead of sitting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, all right.
You wanna make a motion on that?
Sure, I'll make that motion. That you guys trade back and forth with the Polaris, but only you drive it at the beach area until we find out from Carrie.
Okay.
And Jim still will have access once in a while. Like I say, if it's a big weekend when I know you're busy, maybe I'll get Jim to borrow Rick's or something.
Okay.
Okay.
Did you get all that, Michaeline? All right, and I'll second that.
Thank you
Thank
guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I know, I'm scribbling on the map. Sherry, Jim, Tori?
I see Sherry here.
She does not get it. Yeah, she says she'll be here by 10:45.
Well, maybe should we wait on her?
If you want to, yes.
Highlight of the day.
I think we need to wait on Sherry. She's the trouble.
Wanna wait?
right here,
Do we see?
we can't do Rachel yet.
Do you guys need her?
I think.
We
We can-
We can do that. Rachel goes, but,
we really don't need her.
Yeah.
oh, well, I just figured she's money angler.
I don't know how she's gonna pay for it.
Okay,
That I don't know. But we are replacing the tap, the siren. The
we
quotes,
are for sure.
yeah, the quotes first came in on the quotes. But it definitely has to be replaced. There's no rebuilding it. The guy who was doing the quotes was out of commission. He had hip surgery. He was gone for 6 weeks.
Okay.
So that was part of the delay.
It's too old to find. parts.
And it's too old, yeah, you
Right,
can't.
right. And where we're putting the new one.
It's going to go back to replace the old broken one right now
I mean, where's it located?
at Bass Lake Fire.
At Basley.
All of our tornado sirens are at the fire
When
department.
you say our though, you mean the township trustee.
Yeah,
siren.
there
The
she
county
is.
doesn't own those sirens.
Come on up, Sheriff.
There she is.
So, but through our county, they're all at our fire departments. We don't have any random ones placed anywhere or anything like that.
We're moving right along
What's
towards
the, sorry, with that?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I had a doctor's appointment.
What would be the chance of putting it like the beach? Wouldn't that be a more central? Or is that a lot?
That would be a North Bend area.
So it'd be up to the township,
That'd
right?
be up to North Bend Township.
Hi, Justin.
Hello.
So Jim was saying that the sirens getting replaced.
Correct.
I asked him if there's any way we could put it at the beach instead of the firehouse, if that would help more of the counties. Or is that even possible?
They're willing, Artronics is willing to put it on our tower.
Okay,
I've already had talked with Wendy Justice last year
Okay.
about having that a new siren, and she wanted to put it on a telephone pole by the fire department, and I'm like, no.
right,
I want it on the tower, and finally, Bruce at Bartronics was able to find a siren to replace our old one,
okay,
which is, as you know, very old.
right,
It hasn't worked for, I bet, what, 6 years?
right,
So before I came on,
right.
I got that estimate of the 9,900 and I just need to get it approved. I've had trouble with my advisory board. I started this when Kathy Benko was getting her new siren on her tower at Washington Township. And I had started it then, and my advisory board at that point was kind of against it
Okay.
because they said residents have their cell phones and TV. Well, when it goes out because you have a tornado, what do you hear? You hear a siren.
Right.
So I was kind of,
To
So you're saying to get that approved, Sherry, out of your budget? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, and if it comes out of township, I'll have to see whether or not it can come out of fire department.
I would,
I have, no,
if we come out that way or out of your budget or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I have money either way,
so you need a motion on that?
not from you.
Okay.
I don't think so.
So
I
what
mean, I
you
think
do
you
out-
were just contacting me because you had a resident complain that they hadn't heard it in North
Right.
Bend.
Right, not just one, I had quite a few, and then you know how the year started already, we've had
Yeah.
what, 2 tornadoes or whatever.
Yeah,
That's why I contacted you guys.
Dave, you wanna chime in here?
And I'm-
Just a question for you guys, Don. Are you sure Washington Township put that siren on our tower? Cause that's our tower, that's the county's tower, that's at Washington Township. I thought they put it on a brand new telephone pole.
I have no idea. All I know is that Kathy got that new siren. What
Are
she
you
put
sure?
it on, I don't
I drove
know.
by the other day and the other one's sitting on the ground and the other one's on the pole that used to be on, unless they just moved. The only reason why I'm asking is, before you put any weight on any of those towers, at least the county owned ones, you have to get engineering approval that'll have a sidearm that will support that weight. Usually it will, but those sirens are super heavy.
This
Mhm. Our
is
sirens are ready.
85 pounds on this one. This is less than what's up there
85
now.
pound siren?
And it's already,
They're not big like the old.
Even 85 pounds, I'm just saying that. to
Well,
put
it's
something
better
on
than
a tower,
several hundred.
It's, you still, I'm just saying,
I
just
know.
warning you, that's all, just, if you're putting it on our, if it's the tower that's owned by the county. Your tower, you know, whatever, I'm just saying liability wise. Anytime you put anything on those towers, an antenna or anything, you have to get engineering approval. Usually it's a matter of just contacting the manufacturer saying, we're gonna have a side load. You know, a vertical side load of, you know, X amount of pounds at this height, and then they sign off on it, but I'm just saying liability wise.
It's comparable to the siren that we have on there now, so I don't think that that would be a
The
problem.
one you have on there now weighs about,
Mm.
like 700 pounds though.
Yeah,
So
it's
it?
heavy.
Couldn't be comparable.
Oh, well, then this should be a breeze.
Yeah, it theoretically, but we get the weight.
the one that's hooking it up with you, at least ask.
We have 2
Sheriff.
towers.
Right. You guys own a tower there too.
We own the
Right.
tower. We own the shorter of the 2 towers.
Right.
County owns the taller of the 2 towers.
Right.
With where the 800 repeater is.
Yeah, I would get a hold of Kathy too, because I'm. Unless they just.
I think she was just suggesting it too, though, Dave, but we'll check with Kathy,
I just don't want anybody to get in trouble.
right?
Yeah.
Back here.
You know what distance the new siren, the pulse siren covers as opposed to what the other one was?
It's comparable with Bruce Bartronic said it's compared. I just got off the phone with him a few minutes ago because I had the same question. He says the exact same distance that we had on the other. Just a lot lighter and more
I
modern.
mean, it is really needed out there, because I would agree with the township folks and Fast Lake folks, would very much support it, so.
Yeah, we don't even. Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, the higher you go, the less distance, like,
Right,
line of
keep it
sight.
low. Line of
Line of
sight.
sight, yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
even with the last storm, some of the things we've gotten on our phone were.
Be the same as it was.
How long you think here?
What, to get it done?
Yeah,
I can have a board meeting probably in the next few days.
and then they would just move
Yeah.
forward with it.
Yeah.
That was my main concern.
Hopefully they'll
So I
move
knew we-
forward.
Well, yeah,
I guess I would have the final say.
right, yeah, or maybe asking them,
Yeah.
And if you
Okay.
need, I can go to your meeting like I did before and express concern on the EMA side.
That's fine.
and county.
That's my main concern. You say you don't need nothing from us.
Don't think so. I was just surprised that I was called.
This was more of a
Well,
public.
you say,
You know,
yeah,
I
I
know.
know people been calling me and it wasn't just the one couple. I've had plenty of calls.
That's fine.
Yeah, at least we're moving forward. That's
Yeah.
all I need.
It'll get done.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Frank's there now.
Frank's not here either.
Yeah, he is right there.
Oh, where? Oh, I see him now. I just glanced that way and didn't see him.
Frank? Frank? You're up. He?
Joe. Well, MOU with Bella Vita Pregnancy Resource Center.
Yeah.
And so what I'm wanting to do is try and get them some funds so they can increase the amount of prenatal, postnatal care for pregnant women in the county. Wheels already built. I'm just trying to help get it around.
So what do you need from us?
I have an MOU
Okay,
that I've done up. I just need approval, and I can advertise it for 30 days. Then we can all sign up and move forward with it. So
have you happened to send it to Justin? Or
Justin
Oh, okay, perfect.
helped me do it up. So
Perfect.
we're, other than a couple of address changes, everything's pretty much the way Justin did it.
Okay. So you
Yeah.
just need a motion to move forward.
Yep.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Thank you much.
Thank you. Quick and easy.
Yep. Scary.
It's out there. I want you guys, some, you take it, you take it.
They don't need to sign this today then. He said he had to advertise it 30 days or something.
Rachel? Have they had a chance to look through that yet, or?
Oh, I can go through all my other stuff.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So next would be John. He's gonna give you guys our bridge inspection presentation. Use the mouse. Here's a mouse.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Has this, we look on it, so you don't have to. This is records as well.
For our record.
Yeah, lost the old one. Here's just kind of a summary sheet of inspections of the year.
Hey, can you keep this in the ground?
Yeah, he has a copy for me at the garage too, so that's good for commissioners, we're reviewing on the.
And then I will be given the same presentation later this evening.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
This is the same thing, right?
Correct, yeah, so,
Yeah, go say,
yeah.
I don't need it.
Nobody does.
Right.
So I'm John San Giorgio with United Consulting. Our firm's under contract to provide bridge inspection services for your county bridge inventory. And the contract covers a 4-year period, which began in October of 2024. The bridge inspections are required by the Federal Highway Administration for every 2 years for every county bridge, so every bridge not owned by NDOT. With a span length greater than 20 feet. These inspections keep the county in compliance with federal standards. And then the county is eligible for reimbursement for 80% of the cost on that project by the Federal Highway Administration. So this morning, I'm presenting the bridge inventory report based on our findings from the first phase of the report, which we completed in October 2024. The report contains several summary reports that are useful to the county in understanding the condition of your bridges, including an updated bridge asset management plan. In addition to the summary reports, each of the 57 bridges in your inventory contains its own individual bridge report, which you can see there on the left. These reports contain detailed inspection findings. The flash drive contains a digital copy of the report, as well as an interactive map that allows you to just click on a township, click on a bridge, and it'll bring up that individual report if you have any questions about a specific bridge in your area. To help you navigate the way through the report, this summary sheet here shows the location of any key reports you might be interested in, such as maintenance needs for your bridges, a list of bridges with load postings, or any other reports you may be interested in. As well as recommendations we've made for bridges that should be planned for replacement in the near future. Outside of the sheet, you'll find statistics on how Stark County compares to statewide averages. The average age of bridges in Stark County is 31 years old, approximately, compared to a statewide average of 46 years old. Stark County currently has 13 bridges that are over 50 years old. Depending on the volume of traffic and type of bridge, the anticipated service life of a bridge is typically in the range of 50 to 100 years. The county's older bridges were all built at about the same time and are approaching the end of their life in the next 20 years or so. The priority scheduling report shows our estimate of bridges that we recommend replacing in the near future, along with an estimate of costs. We work with the highway department to prioritize our bridges by structural capacity, traffic demands, geometrics, or structural condition, obviously. The current priority schedule has 6 bridges listed as recommended for replacement in the near future. The 2022 report had 5 bridges listed. Since then, 1 bridge has been replaced and 2 bridges were added to the priority schedule due to increased deterioration. We'd recommend the county continue to prioritize funding of additional maintenance and repairs in the coming years in order to get the most life out of these older bridges. Typical routine maintenance includes riprap replacement, clearing vegetation, cleaning decks, patching concrete. Due to Rachel and her crew keeping up with routine maintenance, Stark County only has 2 bridges that are posted for a load limit, which is 3.5% of your inventory compared to a statewide average of 13%. So that's good. That's all I got. It's been a pleasure working with Stark County in the past year, and we're looking forward to the next 2 years of the contract. And at this time, I can answer any questions.
So what I gave you in your packet was these are the bridges that are gonna need replaced, and then this is more details about it. So I give you each. And then this is also, I thought this was interesting, the number of timber bridges we still have in our county, which is 7.
And we still got that many, really?
And all those reports are on your flash drive as well.
That last bridge we had to vote everything on.
137.
And you were gonna have them check into it.
300.
They looking into it.
Oh, no, you mean 13?
We're gonna check on
Yeah, with the one we applied for, no,
yeah.
it can't, no culvert can be installed on 13. Yeah.
Not even a concrete one?
I emailed, I thought I emailed you the email I got from StarkeCo, but I'll find that again.
Yeah, I didn't remember.
Okay.
Okay. Who decided?
It was the engineers, the hydraulics of the water flow has to do, it needs to be a.
That's some question.
Yeah, there's waterway permitting with that bridge and wouldn't allow you to shrink the waterway opening or cause backup.
But I mean, even a concrete culvert, because we can make it bigger.
I don't think that bridge is, that's already, I want to say 100-foot or so span. I don't believe they make concrete precast culverts that go to that size.
Okay.
Max out of 20 to 50 feet maybe, so.
Okay, all I got. All I have.
Done with you until tonight.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Commissioner.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. You guys had asked me to get a quote from Cat for the air compressor. So in your folder on the left side, there is a quote from McAllister, 26,494 plus $1,500 freight for air compressor. I believe it has a 2-year warranty. Plus, we included all the other quotes that you've seen before. I've talked to the council a little bit and, some of them are moving toward the used one too, the 2019 for 17,750. That does not have a warranty, but it doesn't matter to me.
No warranty at all.
No warranty all for the used one.
What, well, the Bobcat, that's a new one and it's a 22.9. Well, no, 23, I guess.
That's what I say, I didn't see 17 grand on you, no
Oh, yeah.
warranty.
Bobcat,
And that
yep.
quit tomorrow.
Okay, Rachel, these quotes are for the bucket truck or the Kubota?
No, they're for the air compressor. So I've turned in all the quotes before for the air compressor in past meetings, other than the Cat one or the McAllister one from Cat that I just brought in today.
What would be the cost to rent one for a year? Well, not the whole year, but during the time period that you'd need it.
I'll have to find that out. For just a hot box, it's about $3,300 a month, so I can't see that it'd be any more than that.
Yeah, I can't see it being
Yeah.
terribly expensive. How many months would you need it?
May through September.
Approximately 6 months. So even if it was $1,500 a month, you're still gonna be looking at $9,000
A year.
a year.
We use it for the bridge cleaning and the crack sealing, and those are the months that we do those projects.
Well, I know the council's concerned about budget, but $9,000, I guess. I mean, that's obviously an estimate. We don't even know what it would cost. That seems like a lot.
You got this in your budget, eh? Not like we're asking for extra, right?
Well, yeah, I have the funding in my budget. The council's gonna have to approve the purchase as well as the additional appropriation to use the LRS money that is there.
That's what I'm saying, the money's there, but they just
Or,
gotta.
sorry, they don't have to approve that. I have that already appropriated. They just need to approve the purchase.
Right.
So yeah, the money is already appropriated. They just need to approve the purchase.
I mean, I can see the less money, but I can't see 17 grand and then it quit tomorrow or a week after we get it.
Well, would you mind if we sit on that for a minute? Cause she's got, I'm assuming, another big expense here with this bucket truck.
Yeah.
Can we see what you have to say about that?
Sure. So I don't know if it was the last meeting or the meeting before, I provided you the report from Terex. That basically said we get our bucket truck inspected every year. They, they want us to look into replacing this unit because it is, it's in poor condition and it's not really safe to be taken out anymore. So I've given both the commissioners and the council that report before. With that being said, over the last, I don't know what, we've been looking for a bucket truck for a year. We've priced new ones over the past several meetings. We've talked to, REMC, and they possibly may have one available later this fall, but that's iffy too. Well, we happen to stumble upon, this is in your packet too. This Cummins bucket truck, 70,000 miles. It's perfect condition, $45,000.
Wow.
70,000 miles on it. It's had one owner its whole life.
What brand is it? Ford? Looks like a Ford Pro.
Come up there, Ken.
Oh, I have that, sure. Okay.
It's on this side, sorry.
This here? Or those?
Oh, so these are on that side. There's so much
Your folders
paperwork.
are so confusing.
Yeah.
You should sit down with Jim.
Oh, there's just too much information.
Here you go, Donna, you can take a look here. Where's it from, do you know? South?
Not in there.
Right here. This is what he's looking for.
There it is.
Kim.
It is
That's-
in Michigan.
Okay.
Just the guy that came to look at our stacker said, well, I sell those. And he sends them to a place in Michigan, and if there's stuff wrong with them when he buys them, gets them all. And then he sells them.
What year is this thing?
He didn't have a year on there.
No, I didn't.
Oh, that's an older body style.
It doesn't say a year that I can see. Huh. I didn't even notice that. I'm not gonna lie. I can get a hold of him.
Like the cabin and a half and the being able to put your own brush in.
I do like the cabin and a half, and yeah, being able to put the brush in there, because we can just pull the chipper behind it, you don't have to take multiple vehicles.
Oh, how much was this one?
45,000.
45,000.
And what's in your budget?
They would come out of our other road equipment that's already allocated. You don't need to ask for additional appropriation for it.
Is that gonna shut you down on money, or is that gonna run you out of money for this year in case something else come up?
Well, I don't have any plans for any other bigger equipment to be purchased out of other road equipment this year.
Do you know how much be left if we bought this out of that fund?
100,000 in appropriation wise, you think? You're
Right.
saying?
And that's even after their pressure?
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
Well-
it says two different funds.
yeah.
I guess I'm kind of looking at this report here, and what they're saying is the boom is safe and operable. And their only concern is the fiberglass body, which seems a little bit cosmetic to me.
So when he did certify it this year.
So when's that certification run out?
Here.
It goes 1 year. He said he didn't know if it would make it another year because he says the fiberglass that's on like ours here and all the pulleys and everything that runs the bucket all needs to be replaced. They say they should be replaced every 3 years. And I've been there 2 years and we haven't done any work to that truck.
I don't know of any ever being done to that truck.
And he said, it's clearly a liability issue once it can't be set, it won't pass certification. He wasn't really sure it would pass this year, but it did pass.
Seems kind of weird that he certify it for a year, but say
Yeah.
it's not gonna make
That's
a
a lot
year.
of liability for him.
He said it won't make, he didn't know if it would make another year. Because all those pulleys and stuff need to be redone.
Well, if it's passed for 1 year, I don't see the urgency to buy a new truck right now, especially budget's tight. If this is something we want to explore for next year, next year's not that far away in the grand scheme of things.
I just wanted to bring this up because we have been looking for a bucket truck for a long time. Brand new one is about $200,000 and it's a year and a half out as far as production. And we have not been able to find any used ones.
This
because
is the
Board of
one I
Commissioners
found
wanted-
that's been the most reasonable since we've been looking.
Yeah, and like, I mean, we've been on this hunt for.
That's
I'd
why
say a
we
year
brought
now.
this one to the meeting today.
Yeah, but totally understandable if, we'll just wait another year on it.
We looked on eBay for a long time.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I know Don looked too for a
I
long time.
thought, your boom had trouble too, wouldn't lift up the full extent.
Well, on here, he says the boom operates as it's supposed to.
It does. Yes, he had to fix some things in there and like there were a lot of birds' nests that get up inside of there.
I'd like to table it and let them get the year and stuff from and bring it back to our next meeting.
What-
On the bucket truck.
So for conversation here, next year, there's been several large purchases that have been brought up. One is a lowboy. Now we have this truck. What else are you foreseeing for next year that could be on the horizon?
Brush chopper.
A brush chopper.
Yeah.
So if we use out of this fund this year, do you get more in that at the end of the year? Can you build that fund back up?
Yeah, I mean, we get revenue in that fund every month.
That's what I'm at.
$45,000 a month is what our revenue pool is. Yeah, plus we have about $130,000 coming in from the auction. Which is kind of being put towards the two Kubota purchase,
Right.
mower purchase.
But I mean, so once we use this out, it's not like we're gonna deplete that
No,
fund. It'll eventually.
yeah.
And at one time, Mike and Todd, I think, mentioned renting a low boy. Have you guys checked into that yet?
No.
Their low boy is operational right
Yeah.
now.
But
Yeah.
I mean, no, so
Oh,
maybe
but
when they
in the
do,
running one.
would you?
Yeah.
Just, yeah,
You're talking about if we got into a bind.
yes, or even if we're not purchasing it, you know what I mean?
Right.
If we can rent it cheaper than purchasing it.
Well, yeah.
And I'm not talking this year, I'm talking next, like Mike
Yeah.
saying.
We got into a bind, I guess we renting one, but we use low boy year round, so won't wanna,
So that won't be.
yeah.
Okay. So you can, I mean, you can even rent it for a whole year, you know what I mean? It's still worth checking, at least getting the price on it.
Yeah,
Did you get enough funds from the auction to cover the new Kubotas?
about $20,000 short.
Which is still pretty good.
Yeah,
Really.
real good.
Is that counting though?
Yeah, it's an estimate.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I guess my thought is on the truck. If we're certified for another year, I think first of the year, we need to start getting serious about looking for one and have it for all next year.
All right.
And that'll put it into next year's budget. That's my 2 cents.
Right.
Any thoughts from council?
I do,
You agree?
do personally, not the whole council, but
Right.
myself, I do.
It's true. It's just such a good deal.
Yeah.
After looking so long, but you are right.
I just found 5 of them for, in the 40,000s.
Yeah. Well, like, and I did the same thing, because when we were looking, I said I would look. Cause I had dealt with a couple of these companies, and like the other ones, did this have a material handler?
Yes,
Yeah, see, like a lot of things come into play there. And then what's the height?
that's 60 some feet.
Okay.
can you pass those on to me, Todd, the ones that you found?
You guys not use truck paper?
Say that again.
Truck paper? Online company, that's where basically everything in the whole country retails through.
Iron Plants and then.
Iron Planet's
Lucia
another.
Brothers.
I mean,
is a good one.
well, these places that, you know, just invoice like,
This is just.
No, truck papers where all the companies in the United States advertise on.
okay.
So you can just go on there and do a search by distance or by, whatever you want the truck to be equipped with, and they'll just spit out 50 of them that you can consider.
Okay,
There you go.
and that's great suggestion, and we'll look into that, but a lot of places, want credit card payment or
Oh, yeah.
how we pay
You don't
is
like the way we
difficult,
pay.
yeah,
This will give you the dealerships,
okay,
Right.
whatever dealerships have them.
okay.
So I'll go with Mike, since that one's approved for this year, let's go and then just start looking ahead of time, in the first of the year or whatever.
All right,
And so now we want to circle back to this compressor.
Yeah, I'd say.
Wait a minute, did you move to table the?
No, I changed, I went with Mike instead. We're gonna just
drop it all together.
Oh,
For the truck,
yes, for the truck.
for now. Since we have approval to run it for 12
1
months.
year.
Yeah. So the air compressor, I think, nothing rents cheap anymore. We're looking at least $1,500 a month, I would say. And if we're looking at a third or half the cost of buying one to rent it for a season,
Right.
we're not talking a huge purchase here. I seen the Bobcat. I don't even know who builds Bobcats for them. It's probably got a Kubota motor in it. Is it?
Ingersoll now.
Yeah. They're approximately $4,000 less than the Caterpillar.
And to buy the one with no warranty, 17, this is 23.
Mm-hmm.
I think we do buy the Bobcat.
Are you good with Bobcat brand?
Hmm.
Have you worked with this company?
I don't think so, have we? No,
No.
And being new, how much warranty this gonna give us?
Are they both the same CFM?
I would have to call.
I'm just looking now.
I don't know if he put that on there or not.
Yeah, I don't see it.
They normally don't. They'll shoot
I
those.
use a lot of Kubota motors, you're right.
Yeah, I think they do. Oh, right here. Oh, it's a Doosan motor, which is still a good motor.
Yeah.
It's Korean.
There's no
This is a cat.
warranty on that.
Cat.
Yeah, see, really, that Caterpillar is gonna be pushing, close to 29,000 by the time it's all said and done.
I don't see a warranty on the Bobcat. I'm sure they've got one, but I don't see it.
I can call him and find out.
Actually, I would just tell them if they want to be competitive, we want a 2-year labor warranty with it. Which I think is what the Caterpillar one said.
Mhm.
So I'm okay with the Bobcat for the $23,604, but I do want them to clarify that they're offering a minimum of a 2-year warranty.
And I'll second that. But once you find out, would you call Mike and then you can go move forward with it.
Well, she's got to go tonight to council.
So it says right here, in 5-year.
Well, that'll be, well, this Kubota is,
That's what it says on here, but.
yeah. So for the Caterpillar, it looks like it's 5 years on the air compressor and maybe 2 years on the engine. But that's something we need to clarify in there. At least needs to match the Caterpillar.
Okay,
With the 2 and 5.
Yeah, it says
so it's
5
approved as
year.
long as it matches the.
As long as it
He's
matches
saying it
that.
could be
That's what
5
it said, but I don't know.
And it goes through the council tonight.
You want that back?
Yeah, you have some in there.
You say it's in here, nobody knows.
I know it's on there. I put it in.
Well, if you did it, I would trust that.
Okay, can we talk about the Kubota tractors now? Kim? This is the.
So they are going to be delivered on 5/19 to McCullough. Then they will put the mowers on them and deliver them as soon as they can. So we're probably looking, it's probably gonna take them into the next week to do that and deliver them. And then they'll give us a crash course on how to run them, and I guess there was something that they couldn't get their hands on when they were building them, and it kind of slowed us down a couple weeks, so.
Be delivered when?
May 19th to McCullough, so we would get them the next week.
McCullough has to put the arm on it.
Because they have to put on the tractors
The foil.
or the mowers. Let's see, here we go.
So we were technically,
We're going to get them on the 26th.
they were supposed to have them built by the end of April.
Right.
But,
That's what I say, the stuff's gonna be waist
Mhm.
high before we get them.
well, we have still the 2 John Deeres and the New Holland that I can send out. I plan on sending them out the second week in May, not before. But that is
I have the
the,
guy's number if you'd like to.
I agree with Mike.
I will be giving him a call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was very disappointed that they weren't gonna be here.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't like it when companies put a number out there, especially when they knew the time was a crunch. We could have had New Holland's 2 days after we issued that order. And we went with the Kubotas, and it's just really disappointing that, this is their first opportunity to come through for us and they've missed the boat. It just doesn't set a very good precedence, in my opinion.
Understood.
Nothing you guys did wrong.
Really put my arm on them and even they gotta work overtime. And get it on instead of holding stuff.
Well,
back.
that is not, that,
It won't take them very long
Yeah.
to do any of that.
It's on the free one.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why we went with them. So if they trash a mower, you can unhook it,
Right.
put another one on real quick.
the blades are a lot cheaper too. Loader, so the loader is finished. It's being picked up tomorrow. Kim has more information about the loader too.
So our original quote was 9,992.90. We ended up coming in at 9,667.38. They did have to replace some caps on the control valves on the left side because salt had rusted them out, so. But we still got everything done and stayed under the original quote, so.
So we were $2,400.
That's what I was gonna say. what
Yeah, we
was
were
it?
$2,400 cheaper.
100 under,
Yeah,
and then
they got it
by
back
the
together.
time they got it back together, it was pouring hydraulic fluid, so.
I was gonna say, last email I got from you, or one of you, that was
Mm,
under, quite a bit under.
this happened afterwards.
Okay.
Just last
So,
week.
But we're still under what we figured.
yes,
This might be a silly question, but does the machine need any other service while it's at their shop?
it probably does need serviced.
Well, it seems silly to bring it back. And then have to take it up there.
Because really, they've probably changed the hydraulic filters and everything else. Just the air filters and stuff like that would probably need changed.
Didn't we have the other air filters changed recently? I thought they brought.
I need to
us
look,
those.
I need to ask Paul,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they brought us those recently.
because I'm pretty sure we did that.
Is it, I kind of heard Dave mention, is this, can our mechanics do most of the service work, or is there anything that the OEM should work on?
No, they basically they do the services on them,
Our mechanics.
our mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
normally.
I would at least
Look at it.
ask the question if there's any service that the OEM should do at like an hour mark or something before we haul it back.
Okay.
Okay,
It's been a little bit of a challenge because the gentleman that we were working with this whole entire time is no longer there. So we're working with a brand new person who
he didn't even know what he quoted us.
Yeah.
And I said, I got the quote right here. So,
all right. I think I'm done with you.
Is our bids done?
yeah, I think he came back.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm not done. I have more too after that.
That was all it was.
No, I have more too after that.
Yeah, you got one more.
Rachel comes up.
I have 3 more things.
Good morning.
Norm.
All right, as we read the bids, the low bid came in from Reith Riley at $867,866.81. There was no problems or trouble with their bid. They had all the right information. All the numbers checked out, all the math was right, so they were the lowest responsive bidder. Unfortunately, we had a slight discrepancy in what our funding amount was for. So this is a community crossing project. That means it's a 75-25 split between the county and United, or I'm sorry, and NDOT in terms of what NDOT will pay for the construction costs. They'll pay 75% of it. But based on the original funding application we had, that meant that NDOT was providing about $600,000 towards the construction of this project. And any amount that you go over the funding application amount is 100% locally covered. So the bids came in a little bit high, about $66,000 higher than the original estimate. And we had some discussions about how we could adjust for this and still keep to our budget. So the decision was the original project called for milling 2 inches of the existing asphalt on these roadways and putting 2 inches back. So it'd be at the same elevation. We can save a little bit of money if instead of doing the milling, we just put the new pavement right on top of the existing road. So it raises the roadway elevation a little bit. There's you have to tie in, at the beginning and end of the projects, but you're adding thickness to the pavement. You're not necessarily eliminating all of any, cracks or issues with the existing pavement, but you're building a thicker pavement on top of it. So structural wise, it still increases the strength and integrity of the pavement. In doing that, we are able to get their bid at $794,247.41, which falls just under the amount that we were looking for and keeps our local payment under the roughly $200,000 mark that was 25% of the original funding application.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, I'll give you the numbers.
Cool.
Yep. So what we're recommending then is that we award the bid for the reduced amount. We have spoken to Reith Riley and they are looking into some things, but they are generally acceptive of eliminating this single pay item, the milling pay item again from the contract.
I just spoke with them. They're good.
They've given the thumbs up. So they understand the deletion. They understand that their bid amount of 867 is now going to be awarded at a lower amount of 794. And that's what we would recommend. So the number was $794,247.41 for the adjustment to eliminate the milling.
What about the extra berming cost?
That,
We do that. So
But there's
normally,
still a cost associated with that.
normally with these CCMG projects, if berming's needed, we'll send out the berm crew and do it with our own money. In our own budget for that year. So hypothetically, if I have $400,000 in stone and aggregates for the year, I have to remember, okay, $20,000 have to go toward 53s for the berming that we need to do on this road or this road. But berming is not included in this, in the contract, in the bid contract.
now, one other cost and material that is included in this contract that's undistributed, it's not specifically assigned, but it has a quantity to it, is a patching. So where the road is bad enough that they have to tear it out and do a full depth HMA patch, which we don't anticipate doing in all the roads, but in the really bad, pothole areas and things like that. That's an undistributed quantity right now that we also have control over. The highway department will direct the contractor on where to do the full depth patching. So there's control over that pay item in terms of we can hit the worst areas and we can use that right up to a budget amount and get the most bang for the buck out of it.
So what's the grant money? What's the total for that?
The total awarded from NDOT was $601,343.27. And again, that's assumed on the 75-25 split.
Yeah, so we'd be looking at about 268,000.
Yes, that the other option would be, again, an overage compared to the original funding amount would be 100% local funded. So if we were to award it, the original contract as is, that would bump up the local payment from about the 200,000 to 267,000.
And prior to even applying for this grant, both the Board of Commissioners and the council approved our portion to be spent out of 1173,
That 200,000.
260 some thousand,
And doing this route, we won't have to spend nothing extra.
not extra, no.
Right.
Right,
Well,
Bill, the original 25% match.
right, which like you said, we've always done the burgering, so.
Right.
So that,
Even there, she can go get even dirt out pond and stuff like that.
not really worried about the milling aspect either, because as you know, in a lot of our areas, you mill down 2 inches and you're hitting sand.
Right,
I mean, it's,
right.
we don't have good base to our roadways as it is.
Which one are you gonna do, Rachel, with this?
900 south between county line and 1,000 east and 1,200 east between State Road 8 and 150 north. 2 main feeds.
Yeah.
I guess I lean towards just accepting the bid of 867,000 and let them do it as we initially planned.
The only,
Go mill it down again.
well, the only problem with that is I'll have to go to the council and they'll have to approve the extra 67,000 in the project. And I personally don't think we really need the extra cost of milling necessarily. That milling's always been kind of just put into our HMA projects, our CCMG projects. But it's not detrimental to the road structure itself.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, without having specific information on the existing roadway pavement depths, sometimes you find that when you do the milling,
It's worse.
you're not left over with a lot of pavement to work with, so. But that, again, that was the way we planned it, to do the milling. And both ways are acceptable, roadway rehabilitation plans.
Todd, do you have any thoughts?
Well, there's several things. I mean, one, if you don't mill it, you're gonna get all the reflection cracks up through everything that's there before is gonna all come up. And still maybe when it's milled, it probably will. And the other thing is, what's the subsurface? You put more weight on that material, the road is not gonna hold up either. So it's a double-edged sword. I'm sure there was no solar borings. And I assume it's probably sand. Maybe 900 may not be, I don't know.
100's probably more.
I mean, and like I said about the patching, I've done a whole bunch of these projects for Cass County. And the patching is usually where we make the money. And like a job like this, you don't have to negotiate with 3 Flatley, you just award it and don't use that item. Pretty simple.
So you saying doing the milling will be good or bad? I thought you said either way.
It depends, Don, it depends what the section of the asphalt is now. And I don't think anybody knows that. And we don't know what the you know, the subgrade is underneath that. I mean, you're looking at money wise, I mean, I don't know what the council feels about becoming a bottomless pit to everything anymore.
That's what I'm saying,
You
yeah,
know,
same as 67.
Well, and that was the intent of lowering the number in the awarded amount was to control that.
Right.
I mean, if you sign the higher amount, sure, yes, you still can negotiate, work with the contractor. And again, the patching volume itself of how much you do is an element that you still have control of during construction
Yeah.
to
if they're all
help
call,
adjust the
if
cost.
they're all call letters pay items, you don't have to use that pay item. Plain and simple.
Right. But then that money is on the hook. It's in the contract.
Right.
And so-
I've done
yeah.
a bunch of these. No, we just take a pay item out. We said we're not gonna use it. Okay, that's what it is. Just like in that job.
Dave, any thoughts?
Well, you know, I have to defer to Todd because he works in that, but I mean, money wise, I would agree. If we can save, I guess the point would be then, you know, some people might ask, though, we don't have to mill the roads, then why don't we start, you know, saving the money on not milling all of them? I mean, you know, to Mike's point, so, but I do know that the base is weak on all of our roads, and if that theoretically builds the base. And you said the cracks might still come through if we mill it.
They probably will. I mean,
That's what I'm saying, so yeah, it ain't.
I've just seen where it's been paved over the top and then they go through and build up the berm on the edge of the road and pretty soon you get a pretty steep drop off sometimes. Because of the extra height, and then you have to also feather where the driveways and stuff meet up to it.
Yeah. And if this was more urban or had more drainage structures or curb and gutter or something where you were specifically worried about the height of the pavement or the height of the leftover curb, the milling would be more essential to that kind of road work. But in this case, you do have a little bit of leeway in terms of the roadway height.
And depending on how the berm is now, you could actually gain some drainage.
Yeah.
Right, don't you have milling out there? I mean, if it comes where we need it, on a lot of driveways, like Mike saying, if we get too big on. Could you not put the old milling in there?
So usually with our CCMG projects, we work with a contractor for current paved driveways, they'll match.
Okay,
If it's gravel driveways, we go out and match
okay,
because it's cheaper for us to do it than to pay them to do it.
right.
I'm seeing 6 one way, half a dozen the other.
There are definitely two ways to do this.
I think mine might go with 794, that's my thought.
Now, if we go with the 794, are they gonna come back with the grant money and say we need to adjust?
It would slightly adjust, again, based on our original estimate of roughly 800. The NDOT shared amount will go down based on the exact estimate.
So
But
really, we're not looking at a $68,000 difference because they're gonna adjust down because our total amount. So we
Right.
may only be
So we
looking
will-
at a $30,000 difference.
yes, it will be a little less different than the full amount because yes, the NDOT sharing amount will go down. And what that will mean is though somewhat that if the state portion of the payment goes down because the overall bid went down, then the money to make up the difference will still come from the local side.
Right. So realistically, we're probably looking at about a $30,000 difference, roughly.
Yep, 30 to 40, I'd say, is when you crunch all the numbers again.
Yeah. So the county's gonna still have to pay some extra.
Well, no, I'm sorry. Based on what the numbers came out at, we will still be below the locals 200,000 match if we award the $794,000.
Okay.
So that will not require requesting any money from anybody.
Okay. That clears it up.
All right.
How many houses are gonna be impacted? Is there a lot of houses down this road?
On 1200 east, there is not on 900 south. 900 south just has a lot of side roads, Monterey Resorts area. But 1200 east, yes, there's gonna be a lot of homes.
And anything asphalt, they'll blend it in.
Yeah, so that's comes in our pre-construction meeting that we have with the contractor. We'll talk about where we want to match and where we don't.
I believe you mentioned this is a contractor you've worked with before on similar types of jobs, so I assume they have a decent understanding of the type of work we're asking them to do.
Yeah. But we just don't have a match with gravel because that's way cheaper for us to go out there and do it. than it is to have them match with gravel driveways.
Well, Todd, you do this for a living, so what's your recommendation here?
Without knowing any more than what we know, I'd recommend what Donnie said.
Go over?
To go down to lower it down, right, and not mill it and save the money. Just because the standpoint of the budget mess we're probably gonna be in next year.
So 794,000. Now, do we need to send this out to be requoted?
No, we can use the bids that were provided. We will use the same unit prices they gave us already on everything besides the milling. We will simply omit this item from what we award them. And we do have a contract here ready to be signed by the commissioners. Because of the schedule that NDOT runs these projects, they require a signed contract. I don't know the exact date, but pretty soon. Right.
Okay.
So if we do agree on this number, we have a contract ready for signature.
Yeah, I'll make a motion, we go with the 794, 247, 41,
By
right?
Ruth Riley.
By Reed
Yep,
Riley.
awarded to Ruth Riley. Yes.
All right, second.
Sorry. There you go.
And this won't have to go to council then,
No.
right? Yeah.
Rachel, where'd the milling go for the last road we just did?
They asked me if I wanted the millings and I don't want the millings because we have that huge pile, so Ruth Riley got rid of it on their own.
Okay.
So I'm not sure where they all went. They just, as a contractor, they decided where it went,
Okay,
but they did offer it to me first.
that's all I want to
Send
know.
me a copy of the signed contract, please.
Yep.
Was that for them?
Yeah, I think that was for the contract.
Okay, well,
It's okay. We can make that work.
Leave that go.
yeah, that
we'll
was,
get it.
I should have read that up there. I thought we were supposed to do both.
No, it's okay. We'll get that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Hold
Okay,
on.
no. Next, MVH restricted policy and procedures. So with the write-up that, Highway Department handled last year with State Board of Accounts and not following policy and procedures for the MVH restricted. I created a policy and sent you guys this by email. Justin checked over it. So this is a policy I want to implement as far as, what needs to be followed in the highway department when we're spending money on MVH restricted items.
You say Justin's already.
Yes, and he tweaked a few things that he wanted to tweak. So it's, there we go.
Make the motion, we go with the new NVH restricted policy.
And
Second.
this will be sent to the State Board of Accounts, and then, well, I'll send it to Michaeline and she'll send it to the State Board of Accounts. We had a request to make 800 east and 50 south a four-way stop.
You had a request for what?
To make 800 east and 50 south a four-way stop. As you know, you can't just go out and make two-way stops, four-way stops, make four-way stops into two-way stops. The procedure that we follow is to have LTAP come up, do a study, the Purdue engineers do a study on it and make their recommendations. So they have recommended that 800 east and 50 south, as well as 800 east and 25 north, become a four-way stop from a two-way stop.
And they've already come up and.
They've already come up. This is their recommendation. This is their, but I do need a commissioner's approval for that.
Is this gonna have any negative impact for the community?
Low down.
It's gonna be a change in traffic pattern. So when you change the traffic pattern, there's certain things that we need to do as far as traffic pattern, warning signs changes before the four-way stop. So it's gonna be different for people to get used to.
And you will put extra warning signs and stuff, so
Yep.
everybody knows.
LTAP has they guide you through all of the signs that need to be placed and how long those warning signs need to be up for the new traffic pattern that you install.
Done years ago in this area.
I was expecting the 800 east and 50 south, but
Right.
he also checked the 800 east and 25 north, and then she said that, yeah, that needs to be done too.
So you got a motion here?
Sure. I'll make the motion. How long do you think before you put the signs up? Like?
We'll need to do locates,
Okay.
so at least give 811 a week to locate.
And you say we need to advertise?
Not advertise, it'll be advertised by warning signage before the four-way stop, before
We
you,
don't need to advertise anything publicly ahead of time?
you're not required to, but we can, I mean, I can.
Or
You guys may have done something differently at the town level. I do it by ordinance, so that way we can assign a penalty. And then I usually have you publish it in the paper. And then you
Like
can
an
start
official action.
enforcing it 30
Okay,
days.
yeah,
after
they've
that
never done
publication.
that here, but yeah, if you wanna.
guys follow the same. Because it's your road, right? It doesn't abut a state highway. I do it by ordinance, so that way you can write a penalty into it, and then you'll need to publish it in the newspaper, and then you can only start enforcing it 30 days after that publication runs. That's the way I do it at the town level. I've never
So
done it for you
do
guys, but
you wanna
I-
create the ordinance?
yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, make a note of that.
I've got a form I use, so I think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
That'll cover it.
Yeah.
Perfect, so we'll talk about that at the next meeting then? Yeah,
Sure.
okay.
But you'll start to locate before that, right?
Well, the locates are only gonna be good for a little bit, so I don't wanna do the locates till right before we put in signs, cause the paint, wears off.
Just, can you email me those roads again? So I will forget between now and, okay, thank you.
All right, the last thing that I need to talk about is the Mammoth grant.
Mammoth what?
The Mammoth grant. Oh, grant. So, Indiana Economic Development Foundation has this grant money that is available to solar companies to give to communities for the infrastructure improvements in their community that they're doing solar. I applied for a $1.225 million grant. We actually got it, but Mammoth is under the understanding, see, with the road use agreement with Mammoth, which was done many years ago. The road use agreement states that they need to pay us the Payzer percentage loss in the damage that they did to our roadways. So if that road was paved at a 4 prior to construction, and now it's paved at a 2 after construction, they only owe us that 2 points. Well, you can't improve a road with 2 points. So what they owe us for that area is around $260,000. That's not gonna do anything.
No.
That's gonna pave, I don't know, half a mile. This grant will pave all the roadways in the Mammoth area, but they want to make sure that we understand that in lieu of them allowing us to have this grant money, because half of this grant money can go to Pulaski County too. I mean, but they're giving us all of it that is available through the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. We're not gonna go back and try to collect that $260,000 according to what they owe us on the road use agreement.
What's the deal on the culvert?
Haven't talked to him about the culvert.
I'd still like a meeting with you, Mike, myself, Chris, and Chris went. You say anyhow with them.
So how much we gonna have to buy?
We'll be responsible for the labor on. So that's about 104,000.
So we have to pay for their roads, the county does?
Well, we ain't approved it. I mean, we ain't agreed to it.
Well, it's one or the other. So they either give us the $260,000 of what the road use agreement states, or this, allowing us to have this grant.
At one time, we had,
I'm not saying it's right, it's just, it is what
you
it is.
had the labor costs figured up. You remember, I think that was.
The labor cost for this total project, resurfacing all the roadways is $104,000.
Okay, so let's not approve nothing. I mean, that's my opinion. Let's table it. You get a meeting with yourself, Mike, me, Chris, and I don't remember that other guy. The lawyer, whoever. I'd like a meeting.
Okay.
So the 1.25 doesn't cover the labor, so you're saying you can fit the labor in the 1.25?
No, the 1.225 covers material only. Material only for.
Then we figure out a way to make it fit in, make the labor fit in it, and just go with. what we
We'd have
got.
to remove some of the roadways from the Mammoth area.
Just saying.
I mean,
The grant amount, I would make it.
I understand everybody's frustration with this, but we didn't make the road use agreement. Part of the road use agreement.
But that's what I
And
said. I
legally-
want one more shot.
And tell me if I'm wrong, but legally, they are only responsible for giving us $260,000. That's not gonna do anything in that area. Nothing. That is only what they're responsible for giving us.
So the Indiana Economic Development Corporation said if we take that 260,000, they're not gonna give us the grant money?
No, Mammoth did, because it's Mammoth's grant. It's Mammoth's money to distribute from the Indiana Economic Development Corporation.
Yeah, I thought it was.
So
grant.
so Mammoth could say, okay, this 1.225 is available. Black Sky County's gonna get half and you guys can get half. But they're allowing us to have all of it
All right,
because of
and
the
I get
trouble
it.
that we went through in our county. And this grant actually started October 21st, 2021. So that's when they created this grant, this Industrial Development Grant Fund. That's what it's called, Industrial Development Grant. I just learned about it in our meeting last year. I have till December 31st, 2026 to get all 3 milestones done. That means I have to do milestone 1 and 2 this year and milestone 3 last year. So I can't drag this out. I need a decision.
All right.
Either we apply for the money.
Before next meeting.
And I can do that, but they're not gonna change their mind. It's either one or the other.
Okay, so it's 1.2, you said?
1.225 million.
Right. And just your material cost is, am I
One-
seeing this 1.3?
Yes, 1.3. So I would have to make sure in my budget next year to add some of this material cost into,
So to clarify,
or
we're getting enough in the grant to cover
No.
the material.
no,
Okay.
we're getting a little less.
So really, we have the total labor cost of roughly 104,000 plus another 100,000 in material costs. So that's gonna leave us short more like 205,000.
And there's a bridge or a bridge in question too, Mike.
Okay, and I know that you and I have discussed, your resources are gonna be spread thin this year. Have you gotten an estimate as to what it would cost to hire somebody to put Pug in?
If you want to compare it to if you want to compare it to like our CCMG projects, although use hot mix there, but hot mix and Pug prices are not much different. You do 4 miles and it's $800,000 to have a contractor do it.
Well, I thought you had talked to a contractor that did Pug and their prices were not.
And I did turn that in in the meeting after we talked about that, but it was way more than, I mean, our labor cost 104,000. I think it was way more than that.
Like twice that, 3 times that?
No, like 4 times that.
4 times
I'll
that.
have to find the information again.
You're going by
email.
memory,
Mhm.
obviously. So your thought is to hire if we were to hire it done, because our resources are spread with all the other paving we're doing this year, we're looking at, let's just say $400,000 just in labor.
I would say more than that, but yes. And the council would have to allow me to spend that out of the MVH fund, and then that would deplete MVH.
I think we could get by with not having to do all these like this year, even if we hire.
Well, that's what she's saying.
There's 2 roads I know for sure that's 4.
I have to get milestone 1 and 2. So on the spreadsheet, it has each milestone. According to the grant, I would have to get milestone 1 and 2 done this year. Milestone 3 done next year.
I just don't know how the county's gonna have resources to do everything that we've already put on our plate.
Right, that's what I'm
Well, we
saying.
would-
Add this to it.
I
That would
would
be-
be able to, for example, I can't do chip sealing this year if we do this.
Right.
I mean, we'd have to restructure our projects.
So
And
would you call and check with a couple different places, what they would do to put it down for us?
what do you mean, put it down?
What we just talked about, the cost to lay it.
Or just 1 and 2, like you say, it's gotta be done.
Yes, we're not gonna be able to afford it, but yes, I will.
I'm not gonna be able to afford it, but let's,
I already
try
have
to-
those figures,
Right.
just not with.
I mean, these should have been paid 3 years ago, really.
We're not gonna be able to afford to have a contractor late for
But
it.
then here. That's why I say we need another meeting with. And, the one I say that's tore up, I mean, it's clear down the gravel. It's on number 3. That's gotta be done in the 1 and 2. I mean, to be fair with the community.
Well. I can't change the mile, I mean, I've already applied for the grant and I can't change the milestones. I mean, we would have to just patch that road and.
Okay.
Get it through till next year. And I would need a special meeting for it with you guys, so when could you do a special meeting?
Well, actually, I would almost prefer to do a joint session with council.
Yeah.
Because she's needing answers on this.
Right.
And, whatever it is, 7 or 8 minds are better too.
Yeah.
Well, at some point too, I mean, we are gonna have solar funds that. That we don't wanna spend apparently, but I mean. Like, it would seem like it would be good to spend it on things like that.
Nobody wants to spend money on the roads in Mammoth area, and I get it. But it is nobody's fault of how the road use agreement was done. I'm trying to find money that we don't have to spend our taxpayer dollars on to redo these roads.
There's no way anybody would have done a road use agreement that said, we'll give you brand new roads when you're done. It's still gonna cost us something, you know what I mean? Like, this is giving something that they didn't have before. This is above and beyond what the roads were when the project started.
Is above and beyond. We're turning these roads into a 10.
Rod, would you be opposed to doing a joint meeting, to try to hash this out?
Not at all.
I mean, we gotta get it done, something.
Yeah, one way or the other.
You know the backlash we're gonna face from using taxpayer money or solar money to fix, or what the solar company did to us.
We could get backlash for missing out on the 1.2, so I feel, we gotta find a solution.
So since you put this grant in like this has to be done like this.
Yeah,
Is that what you're saying?
yes, and I need it done
If
and,
we skipped a road or two, would we end up getting in trouble?
Well, then the community's not gonna be happy.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Yeah.
Can't win, Don.
Guys.
Together.
I don't know. Do we have the Mammoth come to the joint meeting?
yes,
That would be awesome.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I
let's
know-
do that, but
yes.
Sandy, when are we leaving? 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
I need this
So-
done within a week.
So
It's either
Saturday?
this week or beginning of
Could
next
be.
week.
We do it this Friday?
I'm okay.
I won't be there.
You won't be here
Well, I think
Friday?
you should be there.
Yes,
I'm gonna be out of town for the whole weekend.
How about,
early next week.
Anytime next week, I don't,
council's usually better in the evenings anyway, right?
doesn't matter to me. I don't care, whatever.
This
How about,
is-
Wednesday? That'd give us enough, or Thursday probably,
Thursday of next week or this week?
this week, cause she needs it now.
Thursday.
Thursday
I'll be
of
out
this
town.
week?
Yeah, Dave's actually, so that's okay. I don't need to be there.
You'll be out Thursday?
I've
This
already
Thursday
done-
you're going?
I'm gone.
Okay.
Okay.
Where you going? China?
I'm just.
Israel?
Is this gonna be an executive session or?
No,
a special?
it'll be a
Yeah.
public session,
Yeah.
It's gotta be a joint session, right?
joint public. session.
I'm
Well,
okay.
do you wanna reach out, Michaeline, and see where we can get the best amount of council there? I'll make it work either way, cause we need to get,
Right. I'm okay for a couple weeks.
Well, I
Go
know,
by that time.
Cassie's gone too. I don't know when she's coming back. I have no idea.
Long as we have 4 of you, right?
Yeah.
Or at least 4.
Or should be.
Bruce, you could probably make,
Yeah,
Howard probably,
okay too, I mean.
yeah,
Bill.
yeah. Okay, see what we can get put together as soon as possible.
And even if we get the most we can, if we get at least 3 councils, let's not cancel the meeting, let's go with the meeting. Me and Mike both said we could be available Thursday.
Well, the council will have to approve
Yeah,
additional funding.
Yeah, we have.
Oh, yeah, so they need at least 4, yeah.
We should.
You should be good.
I don't see why not.
they don't have to approve additional funding, but I need everybody to approve we're not gonna go after Mammoth if we go after this grant, or vice versa. We go after the 260,000 and we don't go after the grant. I want both boards to approve
Well,
that.
and I think it'd be good to hear it from Chris.
Yeah.
You know, see what he's thinking.
That's what I say, he was
Yeah.
here, but he's
Yeah.
gone.
It might be fit, but just asking for another 200,000 too, that's what I'm saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying, they offered that from the get-go, over two
That's what I'm
hundred
saying.
thousand.
She's just.
That's why I would like another meeting with them.
If somebody wants to call them after this meeting, they may just say, we'll do it, and you know, we don't even have to have.
Are you offering that, calling them after the meeting?
I will call them, if that's
not
what
to do
you
that.
guys want me to do,
That's.
I will call.
I think we still should have the meeting,
Yes.
just so everybody's on the same page, and I want the public to know what's going on.
I'm good with that.
Mammoth know to be there?
I'll let Jason know from Mammoth, but I don't have Chris's contact
got
information. Will you let Chris know?
For Thursday night?
Well, whenever you decide the meeting is.
She's gonna shoot you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I leave now? Like, leave the building? Can I leave the building?
No, Vincent, what's the bill?
2 minutes tonight, even it's for the account.
Yeah, she should be able to. I don't see no maps on them.
I don't know, it seems like she should probably stay for the whole meeting, wouldn't you?
I'm good with that.
You don't forget Don.
Is she here?
Yeah, she's, I seen her.
Michael, just to let you know, that new siren at Washington Township is on a brand new pole that was provided by RMC, a wood pole. That's how those are installed. They're not usually put on a tower. Sirens have to be installed at a certain height, perform properly. If you raise them, they don't. perform
The one in
properly.
Hamlet's not a fire station.
It's not it.
It's at the old fire station, but right after the fire station now.
Just so you know, they don't brand new, by RMC, I think RMC might have.
Donna Osborne?
He doesn't go away, right?
I'm Donna. Nice to meet you guys.
I'm Nan Wellman from Otis.
I'm sorry, Ann,
It's
who?
pretty old. You all
Oh,
work
Ann.
it. Still works.
Wellman from Otis.
You gotta go. Soon. Hopefully.
So, I guess we're here because there's been inquiry to purchase the Otis building for the trade center. And I just would kind of like to know where that's at and also to answer any questions you guys may have of me. In regards to the building. I also have heard from Lisa Doherty, and I just got this, so I ran here, I only have one copy, but I could read it for you. She is the president and CEO of Center Workforce Innovations, and I met her at an economic development meeting for the businesses when Indiana economic development came up. She is interested in helping support looking for funding after the purchase of the building, and I thought that this would be good to bring to mind. So do you want me to read your letter? Because I only brought one copy.
Go ahead.
Okay, to whom it may concern, I am writing on behalf of Center Workforce Innovations, the nonprofit organization specializing in workforce development, contracted to operate the local public workforce system known as Work One in Lake Porter, LaPorte, Newton, Jasper, Stark, and Pulaski counties in Northwest Indiana. Across various collaborative initiatives, we work to prepare and upskill job seekers and incumbent workers with local employers, educators, and other training providers. We're very interested in supporting the efforts to create a skilled trades and other high-demand, good wage sector jobs training center in Stark County. Center of Workforce Innovations is currently leading efforts to create a network of opportunity hubs throughout Northwest Indiana, more immediately in Michigan City and East Chicago. We will provide a variety of job preparedness and skill training with partners to create and promote pathways to high-demand, good-paying jobs in both urban and rural communities. As an intermediary within the local workforce ecosystem, we work to coordinate collaborative strategies and secure funding from federal, state, and philanthropic funders. We are committed to exploring how best organization can support the collective effort around your initiative. And I can let you guys have that copy, but I have gotten a lot of questions since this came to
mind of purchasing the building. I've given 6 tours to a collective of the county board, school board. And when the congressman came, I used that as a platform to get the superintendents and everything over when this came to my attention of the school wanting to buy my building for the trades. Yes, I do have my building for sale now. I'm pivoting with what I want to do. The school has asked me if I would be interested in leaving like graphics equipment, stuff like that. And I said, yeah, you guys, that's fine. I've always been community minded. And I also would like to donate all my carpentry equipment, the tools and what's needed. I think that for the community, it's a great thing to have a trade center, you know, and room to do it, that they can have all of, you know, the different groups of the trades.
Have you guys been in the building or?
I have not.
Okay, so if anyone else would like to have a tour, I'm fine with doing that. And I just kind of wanted to know where it was because I've heard there is interest of the county purchasing the building, and I would like to know because I'm at a point to where I'm going to start liquidating equipment. I have about $300,000 worth of equipment that I was going to donate. And I just would kind of like to know. I did miss an opportunity early on in January, February for someone interested in the building because I was waiting to hear from the school, and it's okay. I would really like to see something happen with that building that was really essential to the county and kids and
The community.
the community. And so if there's any chance that, you know, the county could purchase it for the schools and you guys work that stuff out after, I would love to see that happen.
Have you guys heard from Kelly Shepherd? I think he was at one of these meetings, right? Or,
I've heard from.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay. So you kind of know about it and,
yeah.
yeah.
My opinion, I don't think, and this is just me, I'm one of three. I think there's a lot more that we gotta look into before. We've never had a contractor walk through it. Who's gonna maintenance it? So we buy it today, who's gonna take the utilities over? I just think there's a lot more.
I can.
Already tell you yes.
So Kelly did have someone come in. He asked me if you have some contractor that does schools and stuff. So he already did that part. So I allowed him to do that.
Okay.
So that they could get some figures on retrofitting the building to school code, just as when I bought it and I did a lot of things in it. There's things that need done for what they need. So I just, you know, and I know he said he's taken it about as far as he can with everything. And it was suggested that I inquire with the board today and then the board tonight, just to find out what's going on. And if you guys have any questions for me, please feel free.
I have one because Kelly wanted off the agenda tonight, so he's not going to be there tonight after all. So
Or
did you
today.
still, huh?
He was on our agenda too, and he didn't. He's not
Okay.
coming.
I'm not
Okay.
sure. Did he tell you he was gonna be there tonight, Nan?
He said he couldn't come because he had prior commitments,
Yeah.
but it was
We kinda knew
suggested
he
that I
was-
still
okay.
come just
And
to,
like I said, I'm just one, but that's my opinion as of right now. I can't see where the county could say they could buy it now. Gotta go through a bunch of change, and I just don't think we've looked into it good enough. And that's my opinion. I'm one of three.
okay.
Yeah, I would want to at least get a tour of it. I mean,
Yeah.
you mentioned that I'm given some tours.
Yeah, we've had several, at least probably 6 different in groups of people. So there's been a lot of action, just a lot of interest.
Yeah.
So we just wanted to see where you guys stood, if you had an opinion or.
That's mine.
Yeah,
And nothing against Judson, but to me, it's in a bad area for our county, you know, then you're pushing out OD. It's just that kind, it's not centrally located, nothing against the building
No,
or you or nothing
No, I
else.
get it.
Right.
From what I'm understanding also is, I don't know that I wish he was here because Kelly could probably explain that a little bit more is hitting the areas also that are on like the west and
Yeah, you did
southwest
mention
of
that
the
in my call.
schools.
Yeah,
Because I
'cause-
guess there's a great need that way that could bring in a lot of revenue to that area also.
Right, because our plan was to target OD schools, you know, clear over to Wheatfield, Rensselaer, you know, whoever could get, and not just for school age children, but for adults.
And that's
Right.
another thing that, Lisa said that, you know, they could help with funding for adults and stuff like that too, so.
But she gonna help us keep the building going.
Oh, well, that's,
I know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I mean, there's a lot, just like when I went to that meeting and ran into her. And I just am running into more people there's more interest of, you know, even from the unions to support it and just different groups and. If somebody was had the time to be the squeaky wheel, I'm sure there could be, you know, even more funding. And it could, you know, so I don't know. I think it's a great idea, but that's up to you guys what you want to do. I would just like to know what's going on because I get a lot of questions from a lot of people about a lot of different things.
That's my opinion. Like I say, I'm only
Okay.
one, Charlie's not here, Mike's sitting here, so. My
So,
opinion. we're
Table
not
for
ready.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys have any other, you have any questions? Cause things have come up and about the building or,
A bigger discussion happened at the county council meetings. That's probably where you got a little bit more feedback since they're the funding body.
okay,
I mean, so tonight you may get a better gauge on.
okay. Yep.
What they
Right, yeah,
think.
we were told we needed to come here
I mean,
first,
they
so that's
talked
why
about
we.
it. Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, they talked about it a little bit. There's a little bit bigger discussion at the county council
Okay.
meeting, but they're kind of the ones you wanna
Okay.
maybe gauge the temperature of since it's a.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it
You
was
guys-
suggested we
Still
could
gotta be
both
approved through our
meetings.
board, don't it? Just
Yeah,
before-
yeah, I mean, if you're talking about funding mechanisms, if
Right.
somebody is actually interested in it,
Yeah.
you know, that's a place to start. Cause commissioners aren't gonna say, yeah, do it. Now county council find the money. It's kind of, you know.
Right.
And their meetings tonight.
Right,
Is
Like-
it 6 time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Donnie's point,
Yeah,
the whole idea is a wonderful, wonderful idea. But the several things, one is the funding. We're gonna be in a shitload of trouble next year for funding. With SB1, we try to float a bond, we may not, we
Mhm.
probably could, but maybe not, because of the way the new formula is. And two, to what Donnie said, there has to be so many memos of understanding of who's gonna do what. Who's gonna pay for the utilities? Who's gonna be in charge of the outside maintenance of the building? Who's gonna hold the insurance? Because if we were the facilitator buying that building, it can't be costing the taxpayers money.
right, well, it has to be the owner that's, you know, has the insurance, you can't insure something
Well,
you
no,
don't own.
what I'm saying, that all needs to be worked out in the contract.
Right.
I'm not saying they had to pay it,
Mhm.
but the county, as far as I'm concerned, we cannot put a burden on the taxpayers unless there's something in return. And that's where, and I told you that before, Dan, the first time we met. If we even started on, you'd be lucky if there was a decision made next year.
Right.
By the time you went through, if we had to sell bonds, I'm totally against taking money out of the rainy day fund. Because we have a hospital to worry about.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things, and somebody's gonna have to commit to, hey, well, we'll take this part of it. We'll pay for the maintenance. We're gonna
Right, and
do
that,
this.
that was, I think you hit it on the head, that's what needs to be done, is people just need to step up and say, you know, because obviously we have Kelly, he's ready to go. We wanted to have this ready for this fall, because there's such a need, I mean, you go try to call a plumber, they're like, we're retiring. You know, there's none of these trades happening for these kids, and it's awful that we have that facility there to have these things, I mean, Nan's got forklifts there, she's got anything that's needed, you can come there and get your CDL, you could come there and learn how to be an electrician, a plumber. You know, whatever it is, you know, all the trades that are going away. So we have the facility there, and you say it's not in Knox, well, so what? There's things in North Judson as well.
Right.
That's why there's nothing in Judson, because.
It's just not done.
Because.
And the county's.
Persuade.
Money.
Yeah, but North Judson is part of Stark County, so therefore,
Absolutely, and so is OD.
right, exactly, so that's why we need to
Right.
include everybody. Yeah,
Like I say, I'm not gonna tell you yes today, we're gonna have the council, the commissioner, we're gonna have joint meetings just over that building.
And I don't know that we were,
Start.
yeah, right, I don't know that we were looking for a yes, we just wanted to make sure if that there's interest, because we've had so many, you know, inquiries and constant, you know, people coming through Nan's building. You know, I mean, groups, 6, 7 people at a time, and everybody's like, yes, this is it, so they're like, this is what you need to do, so that's why we were here today.
Well, I appreciate you
So-
coming.
So do you want this table to the next meeting or?
Actually, we probably should table it 2 meetings from now. That'll give us some time for discussion.
Yeah, because we'll go to the one tonight and we'll see what they
Yeah,
say, and then we can let you know,
not.
because, yeah, because we don't want to waste anybody's time if it's not.
Yeah.
So we just wanna know what to do, you know, with the equipment and everything and.
Right. All right, Justin said tonight I'll give you a better answer.
Okay,
You'll see, there's 7 on that,
You guys.
there's 3 on it.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Alright. Wanna rattle down through this pretty quick?
Sure, it's up to you, yeah.
Yeah.
It's already in.
So the US 30 coalition, I asked for that to be on there because we got an email from Mark.
Yes.
Is that something that we want to get one of our commissioners on there? I mean, he's on.
I think as long as we got somebody on there, I don't really have time to get on that board.
It's
I
super
can do
important, I think, that somebody from Stark County is on the.
I got somebody on it.
Yeah.
Are you on it, Todd?
Yeah, but they'll probably want to throw me off because I speak my mind.
Well, I just didn't know if, since Mark's not part.
I'm okay. Are you okay with Mark being on there?
You're okay?
The thing is, can I talk just for 1 minute
yeah.
about that? I met with Pressel, I don't know, a month ago, and that was one of the topics that came up. And the way it is now, the way they think they're gonna do it, the money's not there.
Right.
Because the state is they've already canceled like 300 projects for this year because of funding. So the last thing they're gonna do is invest 20 billion into a project where somebody else created the problem.
They're basically 14 billion
Yeah,
behind.
yeah.
And their road fund is what they were telling us, and if they did look at the US 30 coalition, it would be for safety
Yeah.
concerns and safety measures more than making it into an.
Which would be, extending the turn lanes, maybe J turns or whatever. Stuff
Hopefully
like
not
that.
pulling directly out
Yeah,
on 30.
Yeah,
Was a
doing
really
a
big
J
concern.
turn like they do, so, I mean, I'll stay on it, but I
So,
think it's really a pipe.
I'm okay with Mark being on there, but I mean, if you want to get on there, I'll make a motion.
I just didn't know if it was okay for Mark to still be on
I
there.
would think so, and just.
Yeah, I don't think they want a seated person.
Okay.
Not necessarily, but.
Okay.
And if we got Todd on there too.
Yeah, Todd can report back.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so you want to just let that go for this year?
I think so.
We can always circle back next year.
Yeah.
Vendor claims.
We could change 6 months if we decide.
Yeah. I don't think it's anything urgent.
Right.
Good one, Todd. Okay, did you have a chance to look over these ahead of time?
Yep.
Okay, I did too. Are you good with, if you have any questions or anything? No. So don't I need to announce the total?
Yes. Should be.
Okay. So vendor claims of $576,763.70.
We'll move.
Second.
Mike, can I ask that you go ahead and do that agreement with Kim's office city so she can get out of here?
Oh, sorry.
This is just a matter of signing a form, I think.
Yeah, thank you for your time. So I was here 2 weeks ago and you guys signed our updated copier contract. And since then, he realized
Right.
they put the wrong number, like the copier number, he had put like C4051I and it's supposed to be something different, C3351I. And he just wanted to have an updated copy since it's a legal document. Nothing changed on the numbers wise, like everything's still the price is still the same. It's just the number, like the number on the top.
Clerical error.
Clerical error, yeah.
Okay.
I can send you a copy as soon as I get back to the office.
So where do you need a signature? Here at the box?
Where it's, yeah, stick. This is where Charlie had signed up last one, yeah, the box where the X is.
Okay, and are you going to make sure all those are,
These, I just need the one copy. Those were just extra ones printed in case you want.
well, the signed one from Charles?
What
Should,
you want? I printed that off from online. Would you? You want what?
well, those are void, right?
Yes, that's void.
You're gonna make sure they get, okay,
Yes, we will send this to Kemp's today then.
okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Okay, payroll claims? Questions on this, Donnie? Looks like we have payroll in the amount of $328,280. So move. Second. These are minutes. Donnie, are you good?
Yep.
Motion to approve the minutes?
So move.
Uh, Swapping properties with
Yeah.
economic development?
Okay, I said, put a copy, you know, these things. The first one and the second one for my concern.
This is one we kind of briefly talked
Yeah,
about. Huh?
yeah, but I didn't bring the map, I forgot. So in the yellow is, what Stark County Development owns. All the rest of it here, second page is what the county owns, 22 acres.
Okay,
What the development's asking, if we'll trade 1 acre to where theirs is all joined.
so they want to trade that acre there with this acre.
Yeah, yeah, which that's more than 1 acre, but we'll, you know, we'd have to,
Mhm.
cause they got 22 total like that. But they just wanna trade, so their acreage is all touching,
Mhm.
so they could sell it 1 lump sum instead of 2.5 acres and 1 acre.
2.1.
Yeah.
It's
So
broken
it'd
up
be
very.
like 3, it'd be the same dip, I mean, everything's the same,
And economic development's looking to sell this thing?
well, they want to eventually.
Yeah.
And
We
it'd
want
be
to be able to
easier.
market it to someone and it's hard to market with that little section, just like, you can't have that, have everything around it but that. It's
Is
hard
this
to-
zoned commercial?
Remember what it's zoned to you, Mike?
It's an industrial.
Industrial?
And it's right there in the bucket factory, yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's in Hamlet's, industrial.
Would it make any sense for the county just to buy this from economic development?
I mean, we could, but then there again, we're gonna have. I mean, we gotta buy it all, I mean, if we bought in.
Well, just a thought,
Right.
and then they would be put all back together, really.
Right,
I mean, it still could be marketed.
right. What do you think, Mike?
Well, I'm just one and I don't get to speak for my board, but
I mean, that's something,
As long as-
I'm on our board, we can go back and ask it.
yeah, that's something that if that's like an option that you want me to throw out, that is an option I will.
What you got?
I think that's.
An option for the county to buy?
Yeah, the two
Instead of
pieces.
us swapping,
Right.
he would buy from us.
Right,
Yeah,
and then that would just put it together.
right,
Yes.
yeah, and that's what they're asking.
Yeah,
We're all
that's
good.
basically,
Well,
just
to me,
like
it
the
just
together piece.
makes the whole thing a lot more desirable.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
okay. So tabling,
Yep.
Okay.
Till after their next meeting.
and I think since Charlie's not here, we ought to table the appointments.
Probably.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
not no buying, we're not holding up no meetings.
As far as I know, we're not, you know. We have enough members to continue on.
Okay.
It's just
That's what
tight,
I'm asking.
so, yeah, but I think they had to cancel one BZA meeting, but that was earlier in the year, so I think we've been okay. Northwest lease agreement, I think that's probably still in the works.
Yeah,
So that can be tabled for now. One thing I did pencil on here, Donnie, is I did talk with, the fellow with the 5 police
okay.
cars.
Yeah.
We just need to come to a solution here. There is no binding agreement.
Right, at
Talking
all.
to him. There, it was all a handshake, basically. He doesn't want the cars there. He'd like to see them out. I think he's in his mind somehow them sitting there is, some leverage for potential
Right.
compensation.
Right.
The value of these cars doesn't even warrant any leverage, in my opinion. He would like some sort of compensation for this. I don't know that the taxpayer should be on the hook for this. I think this was an agreement and it kind of just fell to the wayside, due through some regime changes, so to speak.
Yeah, 'cause this thing set up with the last sheriff, it's not even with yet.
Well, he said the cars have been there 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, a long time. What kind of legal options do you have here? To be fair to I think we could probably get kind of forceful, but I don't think we really want to go that route.
Well, he doesn't want the vehicles, right? He doesn't want them for scrap, presumably.
He wants the vehicles gone.
He wants them gone. And I mean, we don't want to pay anything because it's taxpayer money.
Right.
So I think our options are kind of limited then. I mean, we can,
Can we legally let him scrap them?
I mean, they were county property. I mean, they're being stored for the county, but I don't think they're county property, right? Or are they police cars?
Police cars.
They're police
They're
cars.
all
Okay, so they
squad
were
cars.
impounded vehicles by the sheriff's department.
They're not
squad
impounded, they're old squad cars, and actually he doesn't, my understanding, he doesn't have an impound there.
Oh, we don't.
Yeah, I mean,
He says he has it posted at his facility that they can charge $22 a day for unclaimed vehicles.
yeah, but the amount he can collect is capped.
Well, and there was no agreement. He doesn't have any paperwork to help with that.
More so than that, if you're gonna sue a unit of government, there's something called a tort claims notice. That within 180 days of your loss, you've got to let them know that you're exercising your right to file a lawsuit later. So he's well past his 180 days. So monetarily, are we on the hook for anything? Probably not, for several reasons. But I mean, again, if he scraps them, I guess that's his business.
But what legalities does that leave the county?
If he scraps them,
Well, because then we're giving vehicles away.
Right.
yeah, but is it part of a negotiated settlement? I mean, if he wants to sign something saying that in lieu of additional compensation, he can
Right.
scrap those vehicles, then
And that'll save us 10
if
grand.
you guys vote on it, then
Well, it doesn't save us anything because we're not obligated to give him
Well,
anything.
right, yeah, to be obligated, absolutely.
Right.
yeah, so
Our cost to move them is gonna be more than what they're gonna sell for at auction.
All right, well, ours to move them, and, Carl said $100, he'd move them all to the garage.
And they'll probably bring $150, a couple hundred at most.
Right.
yeah, so and here's the other thing too, guys are probably gonna be cited in an audit for it because there's really no good way to do it because somebody's pardon my language here, screwed the pooch 5 years ago and didn't do things right. And there's just no way to fix it because
Right.
they didn't go through the proper channels.
Could we legally offer him $1,000 or scrap them, whichever he decides? I mean, is that possible?
I mean, you can offer him whatever. Again, his compensation is capped anyway, and I don't think he has a right to a whole lot of compensation anyway, because he didn't file more claims notice than 180 days of the loss.
Right, it's just a
So-
handshake, but fine.
But if you guys want to approve, again, we're gonna be cited one way or the other. I mean, so there really is no way where the state board of accounts doesn't look at it and go, he didn't auction them off properly. Because we can't really auction them off since they're within his possession,
Right.
Can we file something with the court to just go in and get the cars?
Yeah, sure, you can file a replevin action, but I mean, he still probably owed something for it in that case because he's gonna counterclaim that he's owed for damages. I mean, honestly, the best case scenario, and I don't like talking about this in an open meeting, but the best case scenario is saying, in return for, you taking possession of these vehicles and scrapping them, you release us from any type of. No, I don't think we're liable. That's not why I'm asking
Right.
for the release. I'm asking for the release. So when someone comes in and audits us, we at least have some excuse that maybe we didn't follow proper procedures. At this point, it's impossible for us to.
Right.
But it was part of a negotiated settlement that you guys approved to sign off on. So I'm not worried about the liability. I'm worried about in an audit, us being able to tie it back to official action by the commissioners.
Right.
So
should we send him a letter, maybe a certified letter of some kind? Asking for any documentation or, I'm just trying to think about how to go through this through the proper channels.
Yeah, I mean, we could send him a letter. I don't know this guy. So
He seemed plenty nice on the phone. I mean, I think he wants it resolved too.
say if his response is gonna be, I'm gonna counter offer, for $20,000 a day, it's not gonna go anywhere, but. Because again, his damages are capped, even if we did have an agreement with him.
I don't see the public being real happy if there was no agreement offering any funds to get these cars back.
Public being unhappy, no way.
Not using taxpayer money to get cars out of a situation they should have never probably been in.
If you guys give me the guy's information, and if you allow me to send a letter basically saying in return for whatever you can get for scrap value, we wash our hands of this, I'll do that to see if that's something he's agreeable to.
And then we sign the titles over to him.
Yeah, again, that's, we're gonna be cited one way or the other. So I can't sit here and say the state board of accounts is gonna be thrilled about it, but.
I think we need to get this resolved, get rid of the car.
I think that's a good point to start with, is send the letter, and go from there.
Yeah.
So I'll get you the information. We'll send the letter.
You guys okay with me doing that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, do we need to have a time on there to respond?
Typically give 30 days in a typical demand letter fashion.
Okay. Okay. I'll get you the information.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any other business?
I don't have none, but we can adjourn to.
Right.
I've got one follow-up to presentation from earlier. You had asked me to get the pricing for SMS archiving for the county-owned cell phones the employees use. The pricing for that was listed on there in handwriting. They didn't officiate the quote because that we weren't certain on if that was an option. I just wanted to gauge your opinion on if you wanted to follow up with the SMS archiving as well as the social media.
Archiving cell phones too? Is that what you're saying?
Text messages, yeah.
I'd say let's just start with social media and let's see how this
Okay.
goes.
All right.
Want
Yeah,
to
if
circle
they
back to
start-
what we can.
Rick, don't go on one.
No, I'm trying to find the tape measure.
Okay.
Oh.
They said no.
No, that's not good. For your interest, the prices was on there. It was $9 per month per device. We've got 15 cell phones that the county
Okay.
has.
About 140.
$136 a month.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do like Mike said, we'll leave it like it is.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Okay, we cannot adjourn.
Right.
Justin, do I need to go upstairs with them or can I just wait here for more?
I think it was Shelley to say about the.
Yeah, we can stop in your office today.
So I can just, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here, Michael, this goes in Charlie's box if you would.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this stuff.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I've got the rest.
No. Didn't try. The Vandals are working on the park department's lawn models. One out of my spot. I don't know if you anyway. Carpet easy.
Oh, right.
3 hour meetings.
I know. There you go. Hey guys. What did Rachel do with the mops?
I've heard about
Yeah. Is there any send any paperwork? They've already planned
to do
I'm wanting to lean on the. He's dropping on it. So
Thank
don't
you.
be the only one I told you, because I don't want to know who's you. I wonder why.
Thank
She's
you.
probably gonna come and get this. She said, I'm gonna come
Right.
with her. Mine's.
Not my fault.
Back then, this is.
Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that.
Calling her, and yelling at her. You want me to beat her up?
Well, you do that.
I saw you writing on a remarkable. Do you like it?
This is the first time I've used it. My
Okay.
daughters talked my husband into getting it for me for Christmas because they said it would really be handy for me
Mm-hmm.
at commissioner meetings. And I looked at it and I hadn't really, oh gosh, I don't know how to get